Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hardware Hacking. We can call it probably part 4 this time. We are going to take a look at firmware extraction and a couple things down the line. So, hey, Tim, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. So it was a busy week last week for me, and lots of stuff happens, and this week's probably going to be even crazier. I hope that you're able to breathe on your side right now with everything that's coming up, and then all the changes that we're looking at potentially moving forward, and also our daily lives as well that are impacting some of the stuff we're doing. So, yeah.
It's been a very big week. I've been just doing a ton of Hack the Box recently. It's been good and bad, very challenging, but I've done a few write-ups this week. So if anyone's on my blog, you'll see a few new entries there.
Oh, there you go. Maybe you should link your blog over here just in case that people are very interested, because I've been going through your blog and there's lots of stuff that are interesting, specifically if you are doing the Hack the Box and stuff like that. You have lots of really good goodies to be able to take out of that. So, hey, Tony, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. Yeah, so there's lots of stuff that we are cooking up, and hopefully it's going to be very interesting. I would say that if you are interested, we have the Hack the Box meetup that's going to be driven directly on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And from there, at the end of the stream, we have a special announcement that we're going to be talking about. So hopefully you guys can tune in, and maybe I should put in the link.
Just to drum up some excitement, we're going to be doing the compiled box. Isn't that right?
Yes, correct. It's going to be an interesting box to go through. It's a medium box. Is it
medium Windows? I think it's.
I can't remember. I have to present it on Thursday and then go through that. And I forgot which machine it was, if it was a Windows and Linux, but I know it's medium. So stay tuned for that. And we have also Steve that should be there if everything goes well, and we are going to get some blue team coverage as well. Cool. And which means that if you're not very familiar to the meetups that we're actually doing normally, that meetup there is going to be we attack a machine and then we talk about how can we defend against it, right? So it's not just attacking and then talking about the blue stuff, or sorry, the red stuff, but we want to also cover the blue part of the deal, right? So you can understand if you need to protect yourself. We're not all pen testers. We're not all hackers. We are sometimes like analysts, and we need to understand both sides of the business. So that's why, like, basically speaking, if you take a look, oh, I see I have my double camera there. That doesn't work. If you see right there, there we go. I got it. So right there, the purple logo, right? So that's the reason why we are purple. It's because we don't want to just cover red team things. It's still good, but at the end, we're not just red.
A lot of us are somewhere in between red and blue, and we kind of switch between. So we pwn the box, we beat it hard, and then we talk about how we could have prevented it.
Yeah, exactly. So I should. Is it like that? No, it should be like that. There we go. Yeah, I mean, like, not all the emphasis should be on me. It should be on you as well. For way, because you're doing a lot of progress and a lot of good work over here. So that's why it should be on both of us. All right, so there's something that we should talk about, because obviously we made some progress in the last little bit as we were trying to move forward, and without giving you too much information about, like, very much in details, there's how can I say that? There is other streams that we've done in the past, and it's all about hardware hacking and some of the steps. So I'll just do a quick recap without going too much in depth. If you don't mind now, that's I have to do that. Hopefully, if there's anything, Tim, I'm going to put, whoop, that's the wrong screen. There we go. Let's go back here. All right, so I have my directly my what's it called again, router. That's right here, right? We have a, that's blown off. So we have a TP link. Yeah, it's way too blown off. If I, no, and then my hand is not covered. Yeah, it's kind of working a little bit. Maybe I should tune down the light to make it work a little bit better. But this is basically what it is in this case right now. We have our TP link, which is well, it's at the bottom there on the ticker. TP link WR or TLWR841N, or the N300. Right, so that's exactly the one I have. I already soldered some stuff, well, a couple of wires here on the, well, let me take a pen over here, or a pencil, Over here, I already soldered some wires on the UART interface, which is basically the VCC, the voltage, the ground, the receive, and then transmit over here. Then what we've done is we've plugged them into another device. If I can bring it here. And that device there, it's basically interfacing. So once we plug it in over here and then on the computer, on the 3.3 volt, we are able to interface that directly to the computer. So if you want to know more, this is something that we covered in the past, and you're probably going to see us doing something like this a little bit later. The next part, there's two other parts that we want to do today. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. No, I guess I can probably keep it on. So basically, we have two different things. Right now, we need to find a way to be able to interface with this machine. And what I got here, I mean, there's different ways that we can do that. Is interface, extract the what's it called again? The firmware of this device. In a case that, let's say, for example, we wanted to be able to it's focusing now. Just in case that, let's say, for example, we want to do that on a router that's I don't know. I'm not saying that it should belong to someone and we want to extract information out of it, because that's not exactly the goal of
this. It should belong to someone, and that someone should be you.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you might be doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our goal. This one, I bought it directly on Amazon, so it was brand new at $20 Canadian. So it's super easy to be able to get in this case, right? So the thing is, I have a little clamp over there. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see it well. So yeah, there we go. So we can see somewhat like there is like little pins on the inside, and those little pins are going to help us out being able to like plug it on directly like so, right? So it's going to be plugged in like that, and then it's
and I see that that's a whole ribbon cable there, Jeff. Is that 4 pins on each side then to match the chip?
Yeah, well, I'm going to show it in a second. For some reason, it does not want to stick on it. And that's the thing, right? A lot of people is going to say, and I'm quite sure you're going to be saying the same thing too, Four-Way, is that thing there, it's easy to remove or knock down, and then you can lose your connection directly. So that's an issue. And
easy to remove. It's a feature, not a bug.
Well, yeah, you see here, I barely pull on it. And that thing there is currently connected on a different board. And that board is going to go on something else, which is this little USB dongle, right? So that USB dongle, we are going to take the pins that we have out of this, right? And then put them on this side. Well, not exactly like that, but very similar. And by putting it in there, then after that, we can interface directly with the computer using some other tools that we have at our disposal to be able to extract the firmware. Luckily, I did some research. It's already like the software to be able to use this is already installed in Kali. So this is not something that, well, I mean, like if you have a recent version of Kali, so you shouldn't have to actually do anything. It's called Flash ROM, and then we're going to be able to do something with it, right? And then extract the firmware, and then hopefully, probably, I'm going to share it directly on our Discord channel. So if you are not familiar with our Discord channel, that's where we are going to share most of the stuff. You're going to be able to go directly from the link that we have below at the bottom of the screen, and you're going to be able to chat with us directly there and share some links. Because unfortunately, sometimes not Google, but YouTube will block some links to be able to be shared there. So in that case, you can easily hop onto Discord, and then we have some hacking challenges. I think Four-Way, you've been there lately doing some stuff, right?
That's an understatement. Yeah, I've been there almost every night, just hacking hard. Yeah, so lately I've been on the latest season box, Big Bang, and it is very challenging. Yeah, just finished the recon, about to get a foothold, I hope. So yeah, I've been there a lot, and mostly I've had a little bit of collaboration with people doing some challenges. So that's been super nice. And if you are interested in that kind of thing, drop by and come keep me company at least.
Yeah, that's very good. That's a good way to be able to kind of team up and learn a couple of things from others, right? So it's not just like us that are showing different things. We can also learn from you, and we can have a live interaction in that way. So this is a good way to be able to learn the craft and how to move forward. Another thing, so Yeah, go
If
ahead.
I can add, I've been doing kind of 50-50 between retired content and active content. So even if you don't have a paid subscription, you can still join me on some things. And I'd love to have you there.
There we go. Perfect. So don't miss your chance to be able to sign up directly to Discord and then join us at that point on the on there. So the second thing I'm looking at doing, that's if we have enough time, because we're a little bit constrained by time and we want to make sure that it's still entertaining and all that stuff. It's this little device here, right? So it's an analyzer. And that analyzer, as you can see here, I kind of already plugged it in a little bit over there. That analyzer basically, or maybe we can start with this. That might be the easiest way since it's already plugged in a little bit. So the way it's plugged in, I mean, like I didn't change anything from the last time. So this one here, I mean, that's a lot of cables. As you can see, that's a lot of cables that are attached to each other. But this one here, it's already taped. If we can get a, is it going to focus? There we go. So it's already taped. So I don't want to remove the tape just for the sake of it. So basically, I'm using the same other connection that would go directly on this USB device directly there, and just recording, or not recording, but plugging in the black and then the green cable, which are connected to the ground, black, right? And then the green is connected to transmit. So we can actually take a look at how the information is being transferred directly over there.
So when I was talking earlier about, you know, when JF was first forming the serial connection for this board, I mentioned using a breadboard like this as an intermediate kind of interfacing patch panel, I guess. And this is a really, there you go. So this has an Arduino in it already, but that's not involved. It's just one that I had on my desk next to me. The idea, though, is that we can take something like this and have you know, our serial connections on one side, and then split them off onto a logic analyzer, like JF is showing, but also have that going to the serial communication on the laptop. So we can make multiple connections that way without having to mess around with taping wires together and other situations like that.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing too, I should have mentioned before I go even further, is all the stuff here. We took it from Matt Brown YouTube channel, so and his blog. So if you're interested, go like type in Matt Brown, M-A-T-T, I believe, space Brown, and then you should be able to get everything out of him directly. It's not something I'm going to demo right now, but we've done it in the past in the other videos, and I just want to give the prop to the person that we're basically taking some of the information from. And basically speaking, the rest of it, we're trying to look online and trying to find what is the next level that we need to do. So in our case here, we I guess that's probably be the best thing to just fire off this one here and then do some analyzing directly the information, then do the extraction afterwards, which should be very interesting. All right, so basically right now, like I said, we have the black that it's connected over here. Please focus. There we go. We have the black that's currently plugged in, and we also have the brown that's connected with the transmit, right? So what we are going to do, the brown is going to go into, like, as you can see here, there's like different pins. We are going to go to channel 0, right? So I'm going to plug it in there. Right now, by the way, my router is not plugged in, so it's not going to make any difference in this case right now. Okay. And then I got the black, which is going to go to ground.
You only have ground and TX? Where's your RX?
I don't need the RX. I'm just going to analyze what I'm receiving. So
we're just going to boot it up and watch? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And watch what's going to happen with this. So that's basically how it is. We can see here we have 2 cables that are plugged in. I mean, like I can plug it into channel 1 or channel 3. I don't think it would have been too much of an issue. But in our case, I'm just going to go channel 0. So it's going to be at top of my analyzer as I'm going to be taking a look at it. All right.
So a neat way to play with this type of thing is we already have the TTL to USB converter hooked up to JF's laptop, right? What we can do is just make a little loopback connection between bridging the RX to the TX right off of that TTL converter, and then hook in our logic analyzer directly into that circuit. So we can watch the individual letters go over the wire and see what they look like. So you can find some characteristic letters where you know the binary representation of them, and we should be able to read the ASCII right off the waveform that's going over that wire.
Yes. That's going to be interesting to see.
When we watch the serial communication coming off of the router, there's going to be a lot of text there. So it's not going to be really a stable looking, it's not just going to be a single letter that we're observing. We're going to be seeing thousands and thousands and thousands of letters and words. So there's going to be a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So is that something that for you during your degree or something like that? And,
yeah, totally.
Engineering you had to do?
Always, yeah. Always thinking about what is the like physical representation of information. That's what it all boils down to in the end.
That's good. Because obviously this is not something I have. This isn't my strength. So if anybody is joining us right now, I am not a professional into hardware hacking. I am learning, and what I'm trying to do is, as much as possible, is to bring you along with me. I would say that Four-Way has a little bit more expertise in that sense, but obviously I think you don't really have a whole lot of hardware hacking experience.
No, yeah, not from the hacking side, not at all. Yeah, only the building things side. So, yeah, we're doing this together.
Yeah, so I would say Four-Way has a little bit of a head start on top of me, but why not trying to bring the rest of the audience with us to be able to understand these things? So,
always.
All right, sounds good. So I'm going to change microphone. Right now I've been using this guy here, but I'm going to be using the other one. So let me know, Four-Way, if at one point there's any issues with it or goes down or makes too much noise and I need to restructure myself. All right.
If you go quiet, I'll just turn off your stream.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. So people can listen to you. All right. So in this case, I'm going to switch directly to the computer I have here on my side. So you're probably not going to see me as much, but you are going to see this little part there. If any point in time you see also that I'm covering myself or covering something, let me know.
Yeah, you bet.
Far away. Okay. All right, so now it's not plugged in, as you can see here on the little top right corner. There we go. So it's not plugged in yet. Also, the power is not plugged in. We have the machine all together, and we need to figure it out what we're going to have to do next, right? So one of the things that I've seen that has been used in the past, if I can plug it in eventually, that'd be great. There we go. It's pulse view, right? So pulse view, if it wants to come in, there's a session. Let's remove this. Let's run something at this point, okay? In this case here, we need to choose a device, and I just plugged it in, so you're going to be able to see it over here, which is the FX2 LAFW, right? And we are going to scan this. So we see here that's the silly whatever logic with 8 channels. If I click OK, now we have basically the 8 channels that are going to be represented there. And if you remember all the pins that were there, that's basically the same thing as that we are going to see. In our case, as I was looking around, we can probably put something that's going to be much higher than the default, which is 1 million. Sorry, is it one higher? I can't remember, but we can go to, let's say,
100,000.
Do you think this one here or 100K?
100. So, okay, this is a neat information theory thing. Is we need to choose a sample rate that's at least twice as fast as the highest bit rate that we need to observe. So we know that we're using 115,200 baud, right? 115,200. Yeah. Yep. So we need to go at higher than double that. So the first one that meets that criteria is 500K.
Oh, 500K. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the first one we can take a look at, or we could go to 1 million samples or something like this.
This is the sample rate, right?
Yeah. So let's say we go at 500, right, to go with. And what about this here? Which one would you choose if you have to choose with this?
I see so that wasn't the sample rate that we were choosing with 500K. That was the duration that we were going to sample for. This what you're selecting right now is the sample rate.
Okay, sample rate. And what about this one here?
So I don't know. How many seconds do you want to capture, right? So this could turn into an extremely large file if we're capturing things for such and such, like
so. If we're thinking
millions of samples, right?
Yeah. So if I'm going over top over here, it says 1 second, right?
Exactly. So that'll only be 1 second long because you have 500 kilohertz selected and you're choosing 500K samples. So this will be 10 seconds, right?
Yeah. So
crank it up, we can do 20 seconds or something.
20 seconds should be good.
Sure.
Isn't it? Yeah. So we can start
plenty.
Yeah, 20 seconds should be plenty at that point. So we're good to go with this. Another thing too that we already know, we could also, let's say, decide to put a decoder. Since we know it's UART in this case, we can put it down at bottom over there.
And what this is going to do is it should, if everything is working properly, be able to read symbols directly off the wire for us, which is really convenient in software like this.
Exactly. So now you guys are not seeing it because it's covered, but I'm going to bring it at, what can I do? There we go. Okay, I'm going to bring it over here. Well, it went on top directly because those ones here are not going to be used in our case. So I'm just going to leave them there for now, but you're going to see that the D0 and then the UART are going to work together. Since we already know some of the information because we were able to get a UART communication, we are going to leave it as 115.200, which was exactly what we had. Oh, I forgot here. We need to put the receive on D0 because that's where I put like from the router, which on the UART interface it says transmit. Now I need to put receive at D0. So that's what I'm going to do.
Do you want to show us the device real quick, just to show the wire that you hooked up?
Yeah, I got to be careful because it's hooked on.
Okay,
now.
no, don't. I know it's not exactly movable.
Not hooked on with power. That's the thing.
Okay.
So
yeah, cool.
See if it's going to come along with me. There we go. Should be not too bad. Let's do that. Whoops. The other one. There we go. Oh, this one unplugged. So what I did over here, okay, on this one, if you can remember, it's a little bit blown off, unfortunately. I need to lower down the ISO because that's a bit crazy on how.
You just need a little background slide in there. We'll remember this for next time.
Oh, there you go. I think we see it a little bit better this way. No, it needs to lower down the ISO. Give me a second. I'm going to do that real quick. But
the point is what we're looking at is we have all of those pins that are coming out of is right now the bottom of the device. Those each correspond to a single channel of communication. So we see channel 1, channel 2, all the way through channel 8, right?
Yeah.
Channel 0 through 7, sorry. Yeah. And then we have our ground.
Yeah, so basically you can see here, sorry, my hands are upside down. I need to change my camera eventually, but either way. So we have channel 0 up to 7, and then we have 2 ground at the bottom. So depending on what we need to do, I'm going to need to replug this in, but it's just like right now we are taking the black to ground over here. I'm going to do it again so people still get it if you just join it. And then we have the brown that's going to go to channel 0 on top there, like so, right? So it's super simple, not complicated. I'm going to bring this back here and make sure we are back onto the right location. Okay, so now it's plugged in. It seems to be all good to go. This one needs to be reversed. Hold on, because otherwise it's going to be a pain to plug in. Okay.
And just in front of us right now, so JF mentioned the baud rate, but this is exactly the parameters that we put in for a serial port before. So we have the baud rate, and then it's 8N1. So data bits, parity stop bits. We've dialed that in. What we have in front of us is by far the most common setting that we'll ever see.
Yeah, exactly. And what's the LSB stand for? I think it's the lesser...
It's least significant bit first. Yeah. So if it spits out a number, it's gonna go from the the 1s bit and then the 2s bit, then the it's just is it mirrored in time or not? So the way that we read it'll become apparent once we see some numbers flying over the wire here. But yeah.
All right, sounds good. So then we're going to go to ASCII over here. I think that'd be the goal, to be able to see what's going to be going through the connection.
Probably, yeah. ASCII is going to be easy to read, but it might be in UTF.
Okay, if it doesn't work well, we can easily change it because it's going to be taking it directly from the D0.
You bet.
All right, so sounds good. So we should be good to go pretty much. I'm going to just make sure that everything is secure. I see that this is powered on because there is a power LED. And then now we can just get ready to be able to plug it in a second. I am going to hit run, which is going to start listening in and then save whatever we have there. And then I'm going to plug it in right after. So I hit run.
Wait a sec.
Oh, I need to wait.
Oh, we need a better drum roll.
Do I have a better one? No, I don't.
No, we don't.
Oh, hold on.
We'll figure it out.
Why is it not working? Oh, is it on mute? Yeah. No, it's not. Not even coming up. That's weird. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it was not on the right one. That's the reason. There you go. I got it. So yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do this. I'm going to start or click on run, and then now I'm plugging it in.
Cool.
All right. Let's take a look. Can I just zoom out to see? Oh, there we go. So now
there we go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Some stuff coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let it run for a little bit of time.
Do you want to zoom us right in on D0?
And, yeah. I'm just waiting to see. Okay, that's pretty much our sample. So I'm just going to, oh, it stopped. Awesome. Okay, good. Perfect. So now we are on D0. We see that we have some information over here. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, and there we go. See?
Look at that. That's our uname right there. Linux version. Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, Jenkins and so on. And I think you had something you wanted to say in the past session that we had, that we talked about, like up and down, like those squares waves, or whatever it is.
Yeah, what we're seeing right now is just a binary representation of the letters. So if you were to hop on your Linux terminal and type in man ASCII, you would see the table for the letters that we're looking at right now. So that capital L is going to be that represented by the 0, 1, other way around. So 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. So reading from the right to the left for each letter. But it's kind of cool always seeing like the way that something intangible like letter is shown just in electricity like this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying here, hey Jake, how's it going? I'm doing super good. Very busy week coming up, but I think it's all great. And by the way, Jake, we have a Hack the Box Auto meetup coming on Thursday. Hopefully you can make it. That'd be great. Yeah, good, perfect. So we see a bunch of different things here. I think there is also a way, as I was looking at, not this one, I think it's this, where you can take a look directly onto the amount of time. Is it? So this one here, is it? It went to 100 kilohertz. I think there's other things that we can take a look at. I'm trying to remember what I did, but it was almost at basically the frequency that we're looking for. So 115,200 bauds, right? It was very close. But I think there's a margin of error that's acceptable to be able to make it work, right?
And that's exactly what that stop bit is for. So if we're talking about the actual framing of individual bytes here, we have our 8 bits flying over the wire, including the stop bit, and yeah. So that way things don't need to stay perfectly synchronized, but they do need to stay synchronized only within 1 byte. It helps the resilience of the information, even in kind of a noisy system.
Yeah. So that's basically a way for us to be able to analyze this. If let's say we are provided a sample of this, we could also use a UART eventually, and then start figure it out with the data bit and all that stuff. And then once we get good information out of it, it would make sense at the end of the day. So we would be able to see something like this. If we are, for some reason, we make a mistake and put it on 7, for example, at that point, we are, maybe we are going to see it correctly. It's possible that we might see things a little bit different.
You see what it did, though? It just inserted a pause between each stop bit and start bit. So that is exactly that stop bit performing its job.
So then if we do this way, so now it's a little bit off. So yeah, it's too much at that point and does not know exactly what does it mean. So that's a good way to troubleshoot, and like what it is with one, and then you start representing some errors or trying to play around with the settings. And next time you're going to be encountering the same issue, you might be able to be like, oh yeah, I remember seeing this, and that's the reason why. So now we are at non-preparity. Let's give it a try at this. So we see here it's way off over here. So that's another issue. That's basically what it is for me in general. When I get something to work, I like to figure it out how it would not work. So then next time I can troubleshoot and figure it out where I need to go, or at least as much as I can where I need to go. So now let's go back to none over here. Let's say two or 1.5 stop bit.
Oh, weird. How would that even work?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, like maybe it doesn't work everywhere, but it seems to be working. Is it really working?
So we're looking right at the beginning of the stream. Things might kind of start to fall apart a few bytes later if the synchronization starts to fail.
Okay, so let's give it a try.
It looks good. Yeah.
It looks the GCC version 4.6.3 build. Yeah, so 1.5 stop seems to be working too.
Cool.
I mean, again, like you said, maybe not towards the end. Maybe there's an issue, or maybe here it would go off. But at the end of the day, right now, it seems to be fine. If we put it back to, or we put it at 0, what does it do? Set to, okay.
Seems fine. Yep.
Yeah, seems fine too. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to put it back to, why doesn't it go to, there we go. Okay. All right, and then if that one we already played a little bit with it. If we do it the other way around, what is it going to do? So now it's all reversed, and it just does not make sense. So
do you want to pull up Man ASCII for a second, Jeff, just to show what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to put it here, there, and then let's bring up this.
So this is just an ASCII table. If you're doing certain challenges, you can reference this a lot, but if you take the binary representation of the hex or the octal digits and flip it around backwards, you'll see the mirror image of whatever that number is that's represented by the hex. That's what happens if we go with MSB first or LSB first. So yeah, if we're sending, I don't know, what's something easy, right? The hex 1, right? Start of heading. So that's going to be 0000 ending in a 1. Well, if we switch that to MSB first, it would be the opposite. It'd be 1 followed by 7 zeros. So there you go.
Perfect.
You would read it from the other end of the table.
Yeah, with the LSB.
Yeah, exactly. It just completely mirror images that whole table in front of us.
But if we go MSB, it's going to be keeping it the same way it is, correct?
Yep.
And what would be the purpose in between the two? Why would we, why a designer would choose LSB over MSB? Is there like a purpose that you know of?
Yeah.
That's I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Sure. No, I think it's seriously just designer choice as long as you're consistent. You might, if you're being a real stickler, try to match it to the chip architecture. So we're using a MIPSL system. So it is a little endian. So that means it's going to start with whatever numbers we read directly off of the memory on this chip are going to start with the least significant bit first. So it's going to be aligned with LSB first. So that might be a reason why we're seeing the bit order that we are right now. But honestly, it doesn't matter as long as it's consistent. You just match this configuration to whatever the serial port configuration was when you design the system.
Okay.
Does not matter. Yeah, everything is read in 1 byte at a time. It gets buffered by a whole byte. So anything past that does not matter.
So if I resume down in just a few words, is like for a designer, basically, let's say me, I create a board. It's why I chose LSB. It's because of the chip. The chip has been designed as such, and I need to do it this way. If we want to put it in lamest words.
Not even. It's your choice.
Your choice. Okay.
Yeah. If you wanted to be a purist, I guess you could put it that way. But no, honestly, whoever designed the system made that choice at some point, and it was arbitrary.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So now that's what we have, and we are able to see a bunch of information, which is very interesting. We could have, maybe we should do that too. I mean, there is a way to be able to do the same thing or the same representation with a chip, like the flash that we have. And that could be also something we could do a little bit later on, which could be very interesting to experiment. Yeah.
How so? What do you mean?
Yeah, so there it is. I was trying to look for it. That thing there, right? That little clip over top, or, I mean, I got this as well, right? So all little pins that I can plug onto the chip directly. And basically speaking, what I could do is we could directly hook it onto the analyzer. and then the D1, D2, D3, D4 would probably be populated by data. So that chip there, you're able at one point for a way to take a look at getting the data sheet out of this. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Right? So we can actually take a look at all the pins that are going there, and some information could be displayed there, because I think there's like a clock that's going to be there. There's is it like I'm trying to remember, I think MISO or something like this, like it's going to be out and then an in. I can't remember. I need to take a look at the data sheet.
Yeah. So I don't want to burst your bubble, but this is probably the slowest bit stream that we're going to see all across the whole board, is this serial communication. So if we're talking about like the interface between the CPU on this board versus the, I mean, you could call them modem chips, the one that we have one for each port on the one for each Ethernet port. That's going to be a much, it's going to be reading in bytes into that port fast enough to support whatever bit rate the port is running at. So if it's a 300 megabit port, it's going to be going screaming fast, and we're not going to be able to read that over serial communication. So sorry, man, this is the slowest stream you're going to see on the board. You're right, though. We could see a clock, and that's going to be going at, you know, such and such megahertz. So at least 10 times faster than this.
I think I'd like to give it a try at one point.
Okay, we can try it. If
you know what,
there's a good chance we might see either a noisy signal or just like a constantly high signal.
Yeah,
because we won't be able to sample fast enough. But we'll see. We'll see. I'd love to see.
Yeah, I'd like to just give it a try. I mean, what's the worst case going to happen? I mean, like
nothing's going to happen, man. Right? Yeah, nothing's going to blow up. We won't see the magic smoke come out. Yeah, it's all good.
Never know. All right, sounds good. So, all right, so that's pretty good. I think we are seeing a lot of good information that's coming out of that. What we could do, we could easily decide to save it and use it for later. So if I'm under TP link. Maybe I can create a new one, and then, whoops, I need to write correctly, analyzer, and hey, annular. There we go. I need to learn to spell, and then TP link analyzer. And we can probably call it for the UART or something like this.
Yeah, 10-second boot, sure.
Yeah.
And so what JF is doing right now, it's not too far-fetched. I've done multiple hardware challenges that are like this, where you get a bit stream or you get some logic analyzer file and you have to figure out what's going on, right? So it might just be a dump of exactly the waveforms that we're looking at right in front of us. And one of the challenge questions might be like, what chip architecture is running? And you'll run it through a program just like PulseView, and figure out what it's saying.
Yeah, exactly. So the one thing, I mean, that's what we want to try. And you can see here probably, okay, there we go. So now you can see here, that's the clip I was talking about earlier that I'm going to put on that chip. Hopefully it's going to work. And you can see here, that's the red part of the cable on top. Mm-hmm. That part of the cable needs to go where the dot on the chip is. I'm not going to drag this board over here, but it's basically where you need to align that thing. So if the top left of the chip is like this is how I need to put it in to make sure that it's going to, is it, no, focus on my face, no, okay. All right, so then that's how it's going to have to be. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to plug them in over here. So hopefully it's going to be stable enough. And then if that doesn't work, I might just give it a try with this afterwards, and I'm going to show you how it works later on. I know we did that, I think, on session 2, I believe, and I kind of disclosed exactly what it was. It's a while ago, but let's give it a try over here. So now I'm doing exactly what I said. Oh, I unplugged the router before I do that, and then I'm going to be trying to plug this in. Hopefully it's going to be fine. Then I have my cables over here, and so, okay, I'm going to be plugging one.
The point is, don't ever make connections on a powered up system. It's always best, if you can, to power it off, then make your connections and power it back up. So, yeah.
Oh, I think we need the data sheet for this one, because the thing is, I need to know which one is the, what's it called? The ground.
Sure, man. Do you have a chip number?
I don't have the chip number. I think I can get it if I extract the information. So I guess we can do that and then go back to this one then.
Can you read it right off the chip though?
I think it's like I don't remember. Give me a second. Let's see.
Okay.
Are we able to get this over here? Let's see, on top of the screen. I don't know if that's going to be good. Let's bring it up over here.
Nope. Sorry.
That's too. Okay, I'll try to use my phone. Yeah, it's still
it's a bit
work,
much.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I don't have a microphone or not microphone, microscope, and we are going to use the tools that we have to be able to try to get it done. So I'm able to get it. Oh, it's right there.
That guy, yeah. And then if you tap it, it might autofocus. And I see it's already in macro mode, which is great, but yeah.
Yeah, I switched automatically, but
can you snap a photo real quick?
I think so. There we go.
Okay.
Did you get it? Well, because it's not focusing. But if I do this, can I see Fion or something like CF Eon? It looks like a 2.4. Oh, I'm not able to read correctly. Like QH32B. Yeah, so if I go from the top here, right? So it looks like QH32B-104 HIP.
Okay, cool.
That's hard to read. Then after that, I have other stuff at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you getting something meaningful?
Yeah, maybe. Just give me a second. Yeah. So probably that extra, whatever that fourth letter was that you told me.
It's a little bit off.
It might be no. It might be a different chip, a different shape to the chip. Sometimes they have very slightly different part numbers based on that. All right.
And the first one, it's very hard to be able to find what it is.
Yeah, it's all good.
I think there's like
the silk screening stuff. It wears off, and it's definitely not perfect.
QH34. So if I go take a look, basically over here, if we bring it up, and I just do. That's some stuff we took a look later before. If I go take a look, I want a new one.
Okay, so I got this here. I got the pinout for the 8-lead DIP package. So basically, the dot is going to be next to the chip select pin. So that's what enables the chip. Right across from there is going to be your VCC. So that would be...
Okay, so if I bring it back over here. So you're saying if I want to bring this... okay, good.
Okay, hold on.
So if I bring this up over here, because the dot is right there, right? I'm covering it a little bit. The dot is right there. That'd be the first pin. And that's this one?
Hold on, man.
That's the ground, I'm assuming?
You said that's next to the dot?
Yeah.
Then that's the chip select pin. So that's what enables... It's like... what tells the pin to even power on.
Okay.
Not even regardless of having power available to it, that's what turns it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where would be like right now, I believe the only pin that I'm very concerned about is the ground pin. And I believe they call it the VSS, is it?
Yeah. So VSS is pin 4. So if you
Bottom one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay. That's correct.
Okay. Sounds good.
So remember when I was saying that the dot is always next to the first pin, and you count always adjacent to that leg.
Yeah.
So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 down that one side where the dot is, and then it goes up around the other side, as if you're wrapping around the whole pin.
All right, sounds good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those pins, and because I know where the ground is, I'm just going to put it as black, and then the other one. Oh, that's not going to be fun.
So if you want clock, which might be interesting, clock is on pin 6. Okay, sure, sounds good.
I don't think it makes a difference if I plug them all in, right? It's just knowing where the ground is the main concern.
Okay,
is that what it is? Right.
Sounds good. Yeah.
right, let's do it.
It's weird that they put a red wire for ground, though. Are you certain about that, right?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Again, what's the worst that can happen? We all learn something, and then everybody gets to understand that I did something stupid.
Yeah. I mean, the worst that could happen is that we fry the board and we have to rely on what I've been working on all day, which was emulating this board on my laptop.
It could be that. Yeah. I guess it could. All right. Oh. I need to figure out a way to plug them in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they're all plugged in over here.
Good.
And now let's bring this one over here. Unplug the USB because I don't want this to work right away. Then we need the black pin to go down where the ground is, which is one of them there.
Yeah, pin 4.
Yeah, and then after that, I need to plug all the other ones in. Again, this is probably not the best thing to do, but at the end, I don't think it's going to matter that much. If I had like an actual pin in there, that'd probably be better. Okay, so I got all 4 over here. And these ones, because there's no ground on the other one, I'm just going to plug them above the ground. It has to go in.
So in case anyone's wondering here, we have the chip select pin on the first pin. We have voltage high. So for us, that's 3.3 volt. And ground. And then we have 4 data streams that can come off of this. So one of those is going to be TX, one is going to be RX, and the other ones are probably just unused.
It's quite possible. Yeah. I guess we will kind of figure it out.
Yep. Or sorry, at least 2 of those are going to be going to some other kind of controller chip. So.
Okay. All right. So now the dot goes directly where the red is. Oh, I'm saying ground. That's right. Ground, the dot. No, you're right. That's not ground. I'm mistaken here, I think.
Yeah, that'd be super weird,
right.
man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, that doesn't make sense because the pin we found was at the bottom. So that wouldn't make sense in this case. Yeah, you're right. Good thing you made me rethink about it. So that's the first pin. So the 4th cable probably, right? The ground?
Hard to tell from here.
Well, if you take a look here, like that's how it's plugged in, right? So if the one on the left is first pin, I'm assuming that if we keep going, they're probably going to be this way. So I'm just assuming that's what's going to be. Oh, yeah, it says, look.
Hard to tell without actually seeing it. Yeah, but it should be silk screened on there.
There is numbers.
Yeah, okay.
Right? You see numbers? So I think that's what it is. There you go.
Right. So anytime you're doing a project like this, you have like, I find it actually kind of useful to print out myself a little booklet of data sheets of all of the chips that are involved in the project. So we should have a data sheet for the device that you're holding right now. If it's not already obvious, sometimes the pins will be labeled right. They'll be silk screened right onto the board. But sometimes you just got to print it off or like have it up on your laptop or something. Yeah.
So thank you, Jake, for telling me to be careful.
Somebody cares about us.
Yeah. That's good. All right. So pin 1 is going to go directly with the red. So that's how it is. Now I inverted those 2 cables there at the bottom, as you can see here, the purple and the other one, just to make sure that we are there. And I'm going with pin 4, which was what we discussed about just a little bit earlier in that corner there, right? And that's basically what I'm heading for. All right, so I need to plug it in. Let's go, should be easy. There we go. So now let's go for the actual try. This time around should be the good one. All right.
I'm 50% confident in you. It's either backwards or it's not.
Well, you know what? That's good. That's good. I mean, it's better than 0% of confidence. All right, I'm gonna try to find a way to make it stand there and not move at all. There we go. Seems fine. I think we have it as far as I can tell you. And then plug it in. Move the screen on the other side. Let's take a look again at this one. I'm going to start a new one over here.
Yeah.
And this one here, I need to plug it in. So now the router is still not plugged in, by the way, right? So we are going with the same one. Can we scan it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we have the same thing again. This one here, it's going to be a little bit different, right? I think it's going to be a different filter. I think they call it SPI, isn't it?
No.
No? It's not an SPI interface to do something like this? Either way, but we can take a look at it later on. It's not going to change anything. We are going to capture it. If it's not SPI, we can search it a little bit. That's good?
Yep.
All right. Let's remove our faces from there so we can see the actual thing that's going to be happening. All right, so now it's plugged in USB, as you can see, or as you saw. And I think I'm ready to plug it in and see how it goes with the record. So let's do run for now, and then let's plug it in. Nothing is fried so far. I can comment live here. There's no fume. There's no nothing. And we have some data.
Great.
Okay. That doesn't mean anything to me. So it seems that 6, 5, 4, and 3 means something specific, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And they're all different, which is kind of cool. Are we supposed to get the clock? Yeah, I'm really confused why there isn't a clock here. Either I pulled up the wrong data sheet or...
Oh, hold on. We didn't change any of that here.
That's okay.
Do you think that'd be fine with this? I think we need to go higher for this one. I was reading that it needs to be like in the megahertz. So you know what? Let's do.
There's no problem with going arbitrarily high. It's just going to be a much bigger file. The duration, just 10 seconds is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got 13 seconds, or we have.
Look, as long as the sample rate is high enough, so it meets the criteria that I was talking about, where it needs to be double the sample rate needs to be at least double the frequency of the signal, right?
Okay. Which I don't.
As long as you're doing that, then the rest doesn't matter. Like it's just duration, and it's just going to make the file bigger.
Okay. All right. So I mean, like, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of this one, and we are going to do. Can I just do another run? Is it going to erase this?
Yeah, but who cares, right?
That's fine. Yeah, I don't care. I just wanted to see if that'd be the case right now. Okay, so let's unplug it for a second. Oh, no. Yeah, unplug it because I want to get the beginning of it. So, yeah, that's right. I need to hit run. Hit run. Plug it in. Let's take a look. Are we going to get something else?
So what I was expecting to see was a clock going at the same rate as the going up, down, up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at D4.
D4
is the one.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's hard to tell. The labels are a little off, but yeah, D4 looks like a perfect clock.
Yeah, if there's nothing on D0, I think, can we take it off? I need to delete it, I guess, huh? Disable. And we can keep it like that for now. Okay, that's interesting. Are we able to see something interesting over here? So you said, oh.
So you could, I know that you dialed in SPI, but if you want to see the actual letters, we're going to have to put that back into UART. SPI is like, it's more general. SPI talks about like what the physical interface of it is. But if we're saying UART, if we put UART in the data stream at the top, then it's going to actually decode the letters, right?
Okay. All right. Let's give it a try. Yeah. I got UART and SPI. I mean, SPI was not, there's nothing we've done over here.
Yeah.
Which one do we think was the clock?
Oh,
was it like D3?
Can you zoom in again?
Yeah, I think it's probably those ones, right?
Yeah. But is that D4 that it's?
Yeah, it's D4.
I think it's D4, right?
Yeah, D4.
Because D7 is just high voltage the whole time. D6 is alternating. Yeah.
Decoder reported an error. So, let's be first, maybe. I don't know. This one I have not worked with it. So
chip select is on. This is where it really helps if you have the pins connected properly, because we can just dial in all of these parameters based on the data sheet that we just read.
What do you mean connected properly? They're all in there.
So basically, chip select would be either D0 or
I can
D4.
tell you. I can tell you right now.
Okay.
So if I go 1 to 4 over here, so
sorry, 0 or 5 is what chip select would be, because we know it's in the corner.
Yeah, so that's the other way around. That's the only other side that we have that.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that's okay. So that'd be on the other side. So where the ground is does not matter. So we have channel 357. 357. There's 4 cables. Okay, so no, it's 1, 3, 5, and 7 that are on the other side.
What?
Yeah, maybe they're not connected.
Oh, why would they have hooked it up like that? That is so confusing.
The thing is, we could have basically typed them in like this.
Yeah,
if we wanted to, right? So
yeah, I like
a possibility if we really wanted to, but in our case, okay. Let me try it again. Okay, let's see if we are going to get more. I'm just going to try to plug it in once more, a bit better. Or at least trying to feel it's going to be better. And then let's do another try, another run over here. Are we going to get more stuff? I like to be able to see the other ones though.
So we can do like a way shorter sample if you want. We don't need to do 200 million samples.
Probably.
Yeah.
How can I bring the other one back?
I think it's in tabs, isn't it?
In tabs?
Yeah, you have session 3 and then TP like.
Oh no, I wanted to see the D1 and D2, and they're not showing up over here. Oh, see?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, all right.
Let's start a new one. The session contains unsafe data. Close it anyway. Yes. Okay, so let's do a new one. Let's go back to this guy. Probably a way to do it. I just don't know how to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have all of them. Let's bring back the SPI if we decide to do something like this, and then the UART, which is what you were talking about. And then close this up. Okay. SPI up. Oh, UART did not go through. UART. Oh, it is. Wow.
Oh, there. Okay.
I was like, it's not showing up. What's going on? All right, delete. I was trying to scroll down, but by scrolling down, it basically does something else. And zoom in or zoom out. All right, so now they're both there. Let's take this off, and let's do one more time. So I said 16 around there, and then we had 200, but if we do to 100 millions, that brings it up to 6 seconds. That should be good, right?
So you don't need to do 16 megahertz, but sounds good. Because we already saw the clock, and it's going one cycle per byte.
Okay, so what would be your recommendation then?
500 kilohertz.
500
is the lowest. That's the lowest we can push the sampler rate.
Okay, all right.
Due to the baud rate, yeah.
All right, so then if we do 100 samples, or that's 200.
Yeah, so that's 200 seconds. That's like
so we don't
need
40 seconds. Let's give it 2 million. 4 seconds.
Great.
I'm gonna go to this one here. 10 seconds. There we go.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Let's hit run over here. Plug it in. Don't get zapped at the same time. Mission accomplished. So no, it seems that those pins are the only one. So 6, 5, 4. 6,
yeah.
5,
so
4. So 6.
One of D0. Sorry. I bet you D0 is your VCC, right? Because it's been on the whole time.
Yep.
Actually, wait up. You only powered on the device at second 2,
Here.
right? Yeah. Okay. So that's actually probably like ground inverted though.
So
I'd probably call that VSS.
Here, D0 is not even plugged in. I'm looking at my pins. It's not plugged in. It starts at the other one after. So this one would basically should probably be deleted.
Yep. Sounds good. So
all the other
D1, D2, or D3 are going to be VCC, and one of them is going to be chip select. They're going to turn on at the same time, so we can't tell what the difference is, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so D1 is probably channel 1 that I have over here, and that's basically pin number 5.
Okay.
Does that make sense? From the data sheet you have?
Pin number 5 is, I think, one of the data pins. Here, let me check. Pin 5 is, that's it's data pin 0.
That comment here. It says, Malvik and Handshake have used 30-100 aliens because these are complicated things. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
I'm trying to understand something I don't know yet, but that's the only way to be able to get better is to try it and see what you're going to be able to see. All right, so D1, it's basically channel 1, and that's pin 5. Then after that, D2 would be pin 2. You have the data sheet in front of you?
Yeah, okay, but just so you know, the data sheet doesn't tell us which pin is which in terms of, transmit and receive and stuff. It's just data pin 1 through data pin 4.
Okay, so you shouldn't see it. You're not able to see it from, let's say, where the dot is, which is pin 1. I think we established it.
That's chip select.
Chip select. Okay, so this one, it's the chip select here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one that we know for sure. Okay. And then pin 4 is definitely ground.
So CS, that's that. Yes.
Good.
Pin 4, pin 4 is ground, but in mine here, it's not going to be labeled. So we are not going to label it here.
Okay, so the other one that we know for sure is VCC, which is going to be right across from chip select. It's on the other side of the chip.
Okay, so that's pin 5. So that should be this one.
Weird. Okay, sounds good. So VCC. Does that make sense given the signal trace? No, it doesn't, right? Because VCC shouldn't be going up and down like that.
No, you're right.
Yep. So there's something wrong here.
No.
Sorry, dude.
No, it should be. Hold on.
I love to tell you you're right, but in this case, you're wrong.
I don't think so. All right. Let me see. So, because pin 4 should be there, and pin 4, it's ground. If we have pin 1, I put it on the purple one. Oh, I reverted back the 2 of them there, so that would make sense. Okay, so I reverted back the cables by mistake without realizing it. So the purple and the gray are reversed, which means that they're a little bit off at that point. That would make sense. Okay. All right. Either way, I guess it's a good representation of like what could be here on these things. This one seems to be a little bit more like the clock, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
In this case, so I don't think we need to deep dive into it since we don't know exactly all the rest of the stuff. I mean, I can probably try the UART just for fun and then try to put one of them and see if we can get data out of it. Maybe not this one. Maybe we can use D6.
I 100% agree. Just find the 2 streams on there that look like they're sending actual bytes, and we'll see what it's saying.
So we're getting
cool
stuff here. ASCII.
Yeah.
Are we able to see anything that's going to be interesting? Let's bring it down a little bit and go towards the beginning, because we should be able to see the exact same thing as what we saw earlier, right?
Yeah, totally. Which pin is this assigned to right now? What's the UART assigned to?
D6.
Okay.
So that's the one I went for. I'm coming back. Maybe I should just go to the beginning to make sure that. Oh, what's that?
So D4 and D6 are what we need to really check out, and it's probably going to be an LSB first. We already saw that. So
yeah, so these ones does not make sense.
No.
Was there anything that was missing here? No ASCII, data bit rate. This one's
oh, sweet. You can invert the receive and transmit. I love that.
Yeah.
So if anyone all right. So there's a reason why I'm so excited right now. Because when I was here, can I get my camera back here?
Only if you want.
Hi.
You're a little bit pixelated there.
Yeah.
Getting better. That's fine.
Anyway, when I was trying out my serial communication using this little Arduino, when I was preparing for, I don't know, what was it, session 2, I think, I found that my TTL to USB converter wasn't actually a TTL to USB converter. It was just an RS-232 converter. So that's a different serial protocol. It's a serial protocol that you see on like old computers and things like that. So I don't know if any of you little kids out there have ever seen like an old computer with a serial port on it, but kind of a little trapezoid shaped port. That port usually speaks over RS-232 or RS-485 protocol. And the problem is that you can actually use an RS-232 port as a TTL port, but you need to invert all the voltage. So to get this thing to work, I actually had to like whip out some other parts and electrically find a way to make it so when the bit is high, the signal is low, and when the signal is low, the bit is high. So yeah, it was fun to pull out some tools and make it happen, but it was totally unnecessary if you have a logic analyzer as sophisticated as what JF has right here.
Yeah, we can see something.
So I'm a little jealous right now.
It was $10.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad at that point, I would say. All right. There's I want to give it a try here because just one more thing. Then after that, we move to the extraction of the other stuff.
Yeah. Sounds good. We're already over an hour in, so we'll hop on to the next thing.
Yep. So we have a bunch of stuff coming in. This one here.
Something's weird.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, wait.
I mean, we have the UART that's like that, but what I'm wondering, I think it's the SPI that needs to be properly done, which I have no idea how to do.
So you have it in MSB first, which is probably wrong.
I think that's what we need to know. We need to know exactly where those chips are, and we're not sure.
So the thing about SPI is that it's for talking to multiple chips. Okay. This is the big difference is UART is just for talking to between two points on a network. SPI is, you use that when you have like a whole board of chips and you want to have one controller that can talk to a bunch of different chips. So what it does is when it wants to talk to a certain chip, it will raise the voltage on its chip select pin and start talking to it. And then if it wants to talk to a different chip, it can kind of round robin between all the chips on the board that way. Yeah. And it might be using UART as the communication between that point-to-point link, but SPI is the whole system for addressing which chip is which. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay. Clear as mud?
Okay. Yeah. As much as mud can be clear.
It's like saying, say you have like Alice, Bob, and Charlie all in a room. The actual like speaking in English, that's like the UART. Okay. Okay. It's the way that the communication is happening. But being like, hey, Alice, how are you today? That's like addressing Alice directly and only speaking in English to Alice. Okay. So that's more like the SPI. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I reversed those things. The cables at the bottom, I was saying they were reversed. I reversed them, but it still doesn't make more sense, to be honest. Those ones are like this. They're plugged in like that. Yeah. Either way, all right, let's move on to something else and we can check it out. I can do some more research about reading that chip. I think this is already interesting what we are doing here in terms of analyzing and understanding the chip by itself. But obviously, not everything goes as the way we would like it to actually work.
I thought it went really well, JF. We were able to read bytes off the wire, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But frankly, what we're seeing here isn't anything different than what our serial port was already seeing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So now I'm going to use that little device I introduced a little bit earlier. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to see if we can extract the actual firmware from the device. Forgot the way it was supposed to go in. Hold on. I hate it. Think
is it USB-A where you got to like try it 3 times and it only ever works on the 3rd time?
No, it's because there is a way that the pins needs to go in so I can secure them correctly, right?
Yep.
So if I put them wrong, something could happen. If I put them right, something could happen.
Yep.
But might not be the same end result. Okay, so let's make sure it's in there correctly. We're gonna. Sorry, I got to do a little bit of magic here to make sure that it does not disconnect on the fly over here. And we are going to plug it in. Okay, all right. So now there is something I need to do. And from here, we are going to use Flash. I think I already have the command in place. I want to give it a try. So Flash rum. The way that this one here is designed, and that's the exact chip that I think you were looking for earlier.
Yeah.
So now we have the chip of the SPI I'm going to be using with the flash ROM, right? Which is specified. The file where it's going to be extracted. And I should probably put it into, well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's fine. No, it's not fine. Let me just go under TP link. And then I think I already created firmware. Do we have anything here? There's nothing. Okay, so now let's do this again. Cool. Flash. And then we are going to do this. So if it's working, it's going to work right off the bat. If it's not working, it's going to tell me it's not working. So, okay. Error, programmer initializer failed. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can put it back.
And can we see the help text for Flash ROM real quick?
Oh. You want to see? Oh, the help. Okay. Flash ROM. Why is it doing this? Okay.
There we go.
What are you looking for?
I was trying to switch the windows, or at least drag me to the bottom right, but this is the way it is. Yeah. All right. So what do we had the P. Right?
Yeah.
For protocol, I'm assuming.
Programmer. So what's the name of programmer? Something like that. You can see, I believe here, this is the one I chose.
Mm-hmm. Right. And we had -C for the chip, right?
Was it -C?
I think it was. And
yeah, C at the end. Yes. Okay. C at the end to specific to go specifically with this. If I don't do it, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's going to ask me if I want to specify one, and that should be fine. So if I do that right now, it's not able to find anything like that. It's possible that my cable might be reversed. So let me just unplug this real quick. And that's the thing I was talking about when I needed to actually do it properly, which I wasn't sure if I was doing it there. Okay, so let's secure it there.
So I just checked on my Ubuntu machine, and this is in the main repos for Ubuntu as well. So that's kind of cool. If you don't have access to a Kali box, but you got Ubuntu, then Flash ROM is within your reach.
That's good. I mean, that's easy enough then to be able to complete. So now it seems that my things might be off. And that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier when I was referencing maybe we are going to have to take those things here, right? To be able to secure the connection. Because that thing there, it's very somewhat hard to be able to get it in correctly, right?
I don't love this thing. it's going to be so finicky, and it's going to pop off if you just like look at it funny. So
some light started. Oh,
hey!
There you go. I got it right. Okay, so I was playing around a little bit with it, and I put it straight instead of being on an angle, but much closer. So that's the reason why probably it worked. And at the same time, I'm seeing lights on the actual router. So that could be also a good indicator that you have it correctly installed if you use what I just used.
Okay.
All right, so now it's telling me or asking me about both of them. If you can remember, I chose this one, which seems to work, but I do believe I have the B, isn't it? I said 25.
I think that's the part number that you read out to me, had a B.
Yeah, I think it was a B, and I used the other one. It seems to work, but let's give it a try with this. All right, so if I do this right now, it seems to be reading the actual flash ROM.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Seriously? Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Oh man, so, I want to just like rip everything off my walls and pull the firmware now.
So the best way, we already discussed that in the past also, is if I bring this over, there is another device. And again, Matt Brown, that's what he recommended. And that was a question I had for you as well, which you answered quite nicely. And it's basically that device over there. The biggest issue with this is that we need to remove the chip out of the board. That can be a little bit harder to be able to do, right? If you don't have all the right tools. And I could use my iron, which right in the back, right behind me, which is fine. The only thing is, it's like taking it off, putting it back might be a little bit harder, and then might be a pain in the ass to just keep doing that over and over, right? So since I don't have a hot air soldering gun, that's the reason why I decided to pick this one. The big issue with doing this or something similar to this is the fact that it's going to power on the actual board, which could also interfere with the actual reading of the chip. So that's the big issue with this. And we can actually see it. Well, you cannot. I can. But right now, there's an actual light that's happening. It's the same thing as, you remember, when we had the VCC connected directly on the on the
and you were powering the thing through your USB port. It wasn't ideal.
It's basically like flashing a specific it's flashing the orange light, and I think it reboots eventually, and it's probably because it doesn't have enough power to be able to keep it on.
It's probably saying SOS, help me.
Exactly, Morse code. All right, so now it seems that we have it, LSLA, and then if we do a file, we can do the TP-Link bin. We can see here there's data.
Nice.
I believe if we do, let's say, a bin walk, we can do also what's are the...
you probably want -me, which is how I remember it, but you want to use Matryoshka algorithm for like what is it? Matryoshka. That's the one.
Oh,
so it extracts the file recursively. Okay, so you very often use -m and -e together, right?
Yeah, I'd be interested to start reading it first.
Sure.
Trying to see what's on it. I'm trying to remember what's the actual thing. It might just be bin walk in the name of the file.
-b will give you kind of what file says. If you want that, it pulls the signatures for each portion. No, -B.
Capital B signature. Scan target files for common file signature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe capital B. Yeah.
Yep.
Give it a try. Capital B, and then we'll use TP-Link. Oh, there you go. Whoops, not twice.
So, that's what you were looking for, right?
Yeah, say something similar to this. Oh, we can see here we have the Squash FS file system.
Yeah.
Right. So now
we U-boot, right? Which we saw flying over the screen as we first powered up the router.
Correct. Yep. So now we can basically start decompressing everything pretty much. So if we do, let's say, a M, right? That I think that's what he said here earlier. Bin walk and capital M, and you said something else, the E as well?
E. So you could use just E by itself, but then it would only extract the first level of, I want to say compression. But if you give it the capital M as well, it'll take it'll extract at the first level of depth, and then anything that is still compressed within that, it'll extract that, and it'll keep diving all the way down into the binary file, extracting everything that is compressed.
Yeah. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to transfer to my other screen for a second, and then or no, let's have you and I on the screen for a second here, and then I'm just going to put it directly on Discord, because now I did put Discord on this computer.
Nice.
So I'm going to put it directly into the location where we are, where we have our stuff going on in learning time.
We should talk about what we have in front of us here. We saw a few different components to this binary file. We saw squashfs, right? We saw uboot. So, and then what were the other two? Do you want to walk us through that, Jeff?
Hold on, I'm trying to take a look at transferring the file.
Good.
So, sorry, I'm not I'm not paying attention to what you're saying. Not that.
That sounds good. Okay, so for anyone that's listening, the squashfs is like, it's a read-only file system that usually you use it for taking a whole file system and putting it into one file. So when you extract that, we should probably see what I guess you would put the root fs inside the squashfs, if you want to think of it like that, where we should see basically the same set of folders that you would see when you just do ls/. You'd see the root of your whole like Linux file system. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if we use binwalk with ME over top of this binary file, that's what we're going to get for at least the squashfs part. But binwalk will do a really good job of separating each of those components out for us, so we can take a look inside.
Yeah, so there it's right now directly under the hardware or IoT hacking category, learning time channel. So if you want to go take a look at what we extracted, that's basically the same thing. And you can also follow along with us in this case. All right, so I'm going to go back over here so I don't show my stuff. And then we can go back to this little thing there. Okay. All right, so thank you very much for the explanation, Forway. It was great to have your expertise to be able to explain a little bit more details, those stuff, because obviously for me, I don't think I would have been able to go as much in depth as you just did.
Really? Honestly, JF, like for this forensic type stuff, you're my source. So I think you would have arrived at this for sure.
Oh, maybe. I mean, you asked me for a second. I typed that. I'm going to type it in ChatGPT and give you the answer.
Okay.
That's going to be the first part I'm going to go with, because initially there's so much stuff to learn about. And for me, that would have been a little bit harder to I never used the capital M one, so I never really paid attention enough to it. And then capital E, lowercase e, I've used it though before to be able to extract a bunch of information from files. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be a first to use a capital M in this case. All right, so if I press enter over here, we are going to take a look at what's happening here. I'm not too sure. CPIO. Okay, trailer.
We get,
we got a trailer.
Weird.
I'm not too sure what that means. Okay, so let's go back from the
top.
You
know what? It's possible that this binary file is padded with a whole bunch of zeros or ones or something at the end just to fill up space. That's my first guess at what trailer is, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, var password changing link for security purpose. Okay, that's good. Squashfs system. One or more files failed to extract. Either no utility was found or it's unimplemented. Okay.
Any other warnings?
Well, there was enough warnings, I think.
Yeah, so binwalk is pretty annoying for having a ton of warnings on it. Yeah.
So let's take a look at what we got. I think it extracted it into a folder, which is exactly that. What else do we have here? We have squashfs, squash root.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm just going to go to squash root.
Oh, look at that, eh?
Yeah.
This is
over here.
This is what we wanted.
Yeah. Then cd bin. Well, no, not bin. Where I wanted to go.
I mean, can you read Etsy password?
That's exactly what I wanted. Okay,
yeah.
Good. Perfect. Thank you. Etsy. Cat password. Oh, it's getting Brit.
Oh, whoa, that's wild.
So it's probably .back, is it? There you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So that's the actual file that's there, and they're probably moving it every time. It's probably part of the script. And the script I think, is what we haven't seen yet, which I have no idea where it's at. Or we've seen it and not paid attention enough. No, we've seen it.
What script?
The
mean
script?
The boot script?
Yeah, I think we've seen it.
So I would be willing to bet that it's just going to be scripts referencing that U-boot system, right? Telling it which hardware to bring online and stuff. But it would be weird if... See, what we're looking at right now is we're inside the Squash FS. So U-boot needs to happen before this is even mounted. So I think all those U-boot instructions are going to be elsewhere, not right here.
Yeah, not in Squash FS. That's
right. Yeah, and it's kind of one thing causes the other, and we'd be doing it in the backwards sequence.
Yeah. And what is this file? Is that the U-boot stuff or whatever? Because I don't.
So Binwalk is marking it with, I think that's the byte address of where that part of the file starts. I think. Okay, so the distance between those two files that you just saw up there was like 200 in hex bytes.
Yeah. See Jake here. If ChatGPT was a real human, his best friend would be Malvik.
It would be mutual.
I mean, that depends on how you want to interpret it, because I keep giving money to ChatGPT. So am I buying friends at this point? That could be that too. All right.
This is just the future we live in.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. All right. I see a bunch of files over here. I mean, I just did a find dot, so I can see all the files that are going to be from the main location. I don't think there's anything different than what we've seen before.
Init RCS might have the initialization sequence.
Oh, hold on. Extracted?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Malcolm. That's kind of what I was just getting at, is that we wouldn't see any of the U-boot script within this because, first of all, U-boot happens before this is even mounted.
Yep.
So
there's no way I'm getting U-boot somewhere, isn't it?
No, that's not true. You just need to back up to a different directory.
Question mark.
So
that was a question mark, by the way. Not a statement.
If you go and check your binwalk output, it will tell you if it was able to extract it or not. And yeah, it might be. It might be one of those numbered directories.
Okay, going there. Okay, so that's what we got here. Are we going to see U-boot somewhere? So Squash here seems to have issues. Maybe it could be related to what we discussed earlier. So the fact that the chip is being activated.
Do you see that hexadecimal right at the top of the output that you're saying? Yeah, see hex 10200?
Yep.
That corresponds exactly to the directory that we were just looking at. So like I was saying, that's a hex address for I think the beginning of that chunk of the binary file. So if you go just one command higher, JF, in the terminal history, we should see when you just ran -B with binwalk. And that'll tell us where the, or yeah, you could just rerun it. It was really quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Cool. Oh, you're in the wrong directory.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Yep. Cool. So we have U-boot there, and it starts at D120.
Oh yeah. Right? So I don't think we have that one.
Do we have a directory? Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't think it extracted that one. Otherwise, we would see a directory for it right here.
Yeah, D120. It's not there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that could be the reason why we're not getting it. Is it possible that we could also get a different result if we don't use the capital M?
Maybe. So just before you move on, what capital M did for us here is see how we have 10200.7 zip halfway down the output there in red. Here. Yeah, so that capital M made it so that also got extracted, and that resulted in the directory right below it. So 10200.extracted.
Yep.
We got that in one step because we gave it the dash capital M.
And this one seems to have nothing in it. Are we able to click on that? File system. Sorry, I'm clicking. I'm having fun. Yeah, no, okay. That's weird. Yeah,
but
so
yeah, I don't think we got the
UART. And doesn't
otherwise we'd see the address.
Why does it say mount? Maybe there's a way. I know, what's his name? Matt Brown does quite often. He's going to mount it afterwards. But I haven't seen any of that being done. So what about root here? Do we have anything in dev? No. Root.
So something that I've been playing with, that I was playing with earlier in the day, was taking the TP-Link firmware right from the TP-Link site and doing what JF just did, where he extracted it with binwalk, and we got the squashfs root out of it. So I was able to get that far. I got the squashfs root out of the plain old firmware that you can download from the website. And then I was trying to go one step further and emulate it from that. So taking the squashfs root, can I run it as like a virtual system? So I was using QEMU, so a quick emulator, to try to do that. Didn't end up having success. Crashed my system a couple times, but I was trying really hard to get this to work for you guys so I could showcase it. But what I was able to scrap together was a nice little Docker image that has things like binwalk, the firmware, all the stuff that we need to extract it and get to the point where we are right now, and then run it in the emulator. All in one self-contained package. So you just, Docker build the whole thing and then Docker run it, and you're in a system just like kind of from the perspective where JF has his Kali box right now.
Yeah, and for somebody that is not very familiar with it, my next step would be to start watching again a video of, for example, Matt Brown or anybody else that actually does that type of stuff, and then see what they're doing as the next step. I know they extract the firmware a little bit differently than me, especially Matt Brown. He removes completely the whole thing and then puts it onto a different system to be able to read that. So it does not power on the actual device, which is actually happening right now. I mean, I'm not going to move it because it's going to unplug the whole thing or rip it off. But right now there is a light that's being blinking over and over and over, right? So that could also be an issue on how I can actually read the information out of it.
Maybe, there could be some kind of read protection on parts of it, but I doubt it. If you were able to read this much, I don't think there was any protection on it.
No.
But let's talk about that. So Jeff, what can you think of in terms of pros and cons between removing the chip and analyzing it versus analyzing it on the board? Can you think of any forensic differences, or what would you say?
On the forensic side?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Not being hold on, I'm gonna need to. All right, so I'm not an expert, by the way, on forensics. I do build basically help out build SOCs. I do build a GRC. I do more high level stuff. So it's a little bit harder for me to tell you all the ins and outs on the technical side of it. But what I know about forensics is if you start the machine, there's some alteration that could be happening as you are actually reading it. So by removing it, the pros would be to see exactly what's on the chip without altering the data, or potentially altering the data, or even losing the data that's there, right? So because obviously, if I do this, I short pins or I do anything like that, it could basically have a big issue at that point there. That's what my assumptions are on this. So by having communication with the CPU, having communication with everything else, it could potentially lead to errors or corruptions. That's my assumption. Do you agree with this, or is there anything else?
I completely agree. Okay. Yeah, and I know the really hardcore forensics guys and ladies might even freeze the chip before they try to do this, because that electrically stabilizes it before they pull the chip, which is just totally wild to me. We're nowhere even close to that level of sophistication, but yeah, I think I agree with your argument, and it's a good way to keep the evidence intact if you're trying to pull the evidence off it. If we're just reverse engineering, we don't care. I think you did a great job already. You were able to pull the firmware no problem. So from my perspective, we have a big check mark.
Yeah, we have a big check mark. What I'd be curious to do at one point, and that's something that we're going to have to check it out. What I'd be curious to do is to remove it eventually, to actually do that and see with the chip on, remove it, and then with the chip out. I think that would be very cool to see the difference between the two, and see if we can get something out of it that could be interesting there.
That'll probably be the last chapter in the series.
Well, I mean, like, until
we're not going to solder it back into the board, right? We'll remove it and then we're done.
No, I'm going to give it a try. And like,
okay.
How do you learn? How do you learn? You screw up things, but that's fine. That's exactly what it is. You need to give it a try, and that's a board that's $20 for those that are joining us that don't really know what we're doing right now. Is I have a $20 TP-Link router, and the goal is to be able to hack it and see what it is and learn on top of it, because I'm not a professional into hardware hacking, and we are trying to do this straight up. So I mean, like, I don't mind it. Worst case scenario, what's the worst can happen, right? I buy another one, $20. I'm not like going with something extremely high. And then worst case scenario, I mean, like, we have a bunch of other stuff that we can go with, right? I need to remove this, but I have like cameras. I have 2 other routers that we can have fun with it eventually. So at the end of the day, I'm not too concerned. Those boards, though, are going to be a bit more of a pain because they are different. And what I mean by different is they don't have like an actual chip in there where it's going to, whoops, I should probably just do this, where it's going to do an interface what we're doing right now. So we're probably going to have to use, let's say, the CPU or another chip on the board and try and figure out exactly where the UART interface is, and then have that conversation with the board at that point through that. All right, so
and how far we've been able to push this. But what's our next step? What do you want to do now that we have the firmware? Because that's we have some real goodies in front of us that we could analyze.
Well, I mean, like you already said that it should be probably in U-boot, and we probably don't have U-boot. So is there a way for us to be able to find that and be able to take a look at how it's actually going through the whole motion? How is it configured? And then the next step would be, again, it's part of our learning journey. So if an actual like threat actor decide that they want to have a firmware like this and then change the whole thing and then want to reflash a router before it gets to the destination, that could be one way to be able to get into somebody's house. My goal is to understand how this can be done. Then after that, how can we find this in the long run? Again, it still remains in my thoughts. So now what I would like to know is how it's being loaded, and where is that file bash or whatever the case is, where is that thing where we could potentially just change the structure, do I think it's a DD, and then just put it back into like flash the chip, and then put it back on the chip there. Then after that, we are going to realize that the chip has been flashed. It's like specifically, it doesn't look like it has been altered, and nobody knows but us, right?
Yep. Except we have evidence in front of us that we could use to prove that it has been altered, right? Because we just extracted the squash FS, right?
Yeah.
So we could, if we were checking for evidence of an intrusion, we could use DD, extract the whole thing right out of the binary file, the .bin file. and then take the firmware directly from the TP-Link website. It should be identical to the one that we just pulled out of SquashFS, right?
Yeah.
We could compare those two files bit by bit to see, has there been some kind of difference included in it? And
Correct.
if so, it might be evidence of some kind of intrusion.
I like Malcolm's point over here that he just mentioned. I don't know if you had a chance to read it. That could be interesting. If that's a TP-Link router, Toy can get, hold on.
A hidden shell.
Yeah, hidden shell. TPL during the boot with a UART shell. I mean, I'd be up to give it a try.
Sure.
That we can see how it goes.
What would the hidden shell be, though?
Yeah. So, okay, I see it's not Toy, but you can get a hidden shell by typing TPL repeatedly during boot with a UART shell. That could be cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Is that something you tried before? I'd be interested to see. Okay, so let me unplug this guy. We are still going to get to be focused eventually to what we were talking about, but it's going to take a little bit of time to build on that and then see how it goes. And again, in the long run, it's putting a backdoor into the router by reflashing it and having something like this, and then it looks like a normal router. That's first. And then secondly, we need to find a way to be able to capture this and find somebody that decides to log on onto that router, right? So that's the thing that we want to do. If you want to come along with me, you can go directly on Discord, and then I already uploaded a file there under the hacking category, or the hardware hacking category. So you can get a hold of that file and then just have fun with us. All right, so I'm very interested into what you just said, Malcolm. So I think I have to give it a try. I think it's a BusyBox shell. I forget. It's been a while. Yes, it's a BusyBox.
Yeah. So we already got a root shell just by powering the thing up. There was no secret cheat code involved, and it just happily gave us a root shell while it was booting, which is horrifying, but also really fun for us.
Yeah, it's the matter of testing things and then see how it's happening and all that. All right, you need to get in. All right, it's good. Now over here was the what did we use? Was it? I think it was PicoCom, right?
Yep,
that's the one we used.
So just before we move on entirely, Jeff, one other thing that I want to put a pin in is that like now we can see everything from /bin, right? And really easily right now because we already have the firmware. So we could run any of the programs, even in SBin, through some kind of reverse engineering tools. So we could put it through Ghidra. We could, just use GDB on it. I'm a huge fan of Binary Ninja, but we could really see how any of these tools work. And if we find that any of those are little proprietary tools that they've built into the router, that could be some really interesting stuff. So I want to put a pin in that.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that too. I think there's probably files in there we're going to be able to extract some information that are going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm ready to go. I don't know if I should have copied the information there. Okay, so that's our notes that are still there. I'm just gonna there we go. TPL. I think that's what you wrote. That's exactly what we need to do. And I'm just going to copy and then just paste it repeatedly and then press enter every time. So let's see how it goes. All right. I'm trying. And we need to have a script to make it work even better. TPL. That's fun. Not found. Okay.
Left down, right up, AB.
Okay, so is that the special shell right now that we have?
We're still in a root shell.
Oh, no, okay, it's still going. Not found. I guess we are past the place probably. But normally there's a lot more than this. Oh, okay. Just taking time. I think there's not much.
Oh, no. Did you change the time zone or something? Command is echo into Etsy time zone.
Who knows? We're just having fun here.
Okay.
Okay, so is there anything that's going to be working? So Who Am I was not working already, that's for sure. And there's not much I can do.
Well, remember to use BusyBox when you're, because we just have the dumbest of shells right now. If you want your actual commands, we need to use BusyBox at least.
Oh, it redirects it to BusyBox. So anything that BusyBox has, it's going to. I need to BusyBox.
Oh yeah, that was something we were going to do, was script up the transfer of the full MIPSL BusyBox that we
as a script. Yeah, that's something we're going to have to do eventually, so we can accelerate things a little bit more. So it doesn't seem to have worked, Malcolm. I mean, we can give it a try, unless you're telling me I missed something here, but I don't mind giving it a try again. So let's unplug.
Or maybe it did work, but we were just already root, so it ignored us.
Maybe. All right, so let's give it a try again. Is that going to? All right, let's go nuts.
Oh, now you're just playing with it.
Oh yeah, like big time. Trying to see if it's gonna do something. I mean, like you probably hear it through. Okay, so I don't think I can go any further than this because it keeps telling me not found, and that's about it. So during boot with a UART shell. So how do we know we have the special shell? I'm gonna go check it out. Let's put UART TPL type terminal. I don't know. Repetitively.
I'll try an LLM while you're doing that.
Okay, what caused your device to constantly repeat its recovery? Router with a serial port and working CFE bootloader can often recover. No, that's fine. That's not what I'm looking for. I don't think so. Keyboard is dancing. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I just got this awesome Bluetooth modules. Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's not really Bluetooth.
ChatGPT didn't see anything. I'll try the other ones. I'll try Claude.
Okay. You said ChatGPT didn't have anything?
Yeah, GPT-4o Mini didn't say anything.
Oh, you know what? I have the full-blown paid ChatGPT.
Ooh,
let me see.
Fancy you.
I mean, like that's my best friend. That's what I think we concluded earlier with Jake. That it was my best friend. It's just you're not going to see it. It's on my screen over here. So if you give me a second, or my other computer. So what did I type in? So can I get a special shell by typing TPL?
Wow. Okay. I just rephrased it, and it does say that, yes, something special can happen, but it doesn't specify what. It says it can enter recovery mode or a special mode that allows you to perform like maintenance tasks.
Okay.
Cool.
And I'm going to ask how. Ask an extra question. How and when can it be done? Or should it be done?
Oh, sure. Claude doesn't know anything.
Apparently, it's not too bad, Claude. Or Claude.
Yeah, people say that. I haven't had much success with it. I'm gonna try Mixtral.
Okay, so it says here, yes, in certain scenarios, you can trigger a special shell by typing TPL repetitively. This is specifically relevant in case where Jinja 2 template injection vulnerable exists in a web application, but that's not exactly
what. That makes no sense.
No, that makes no sense.
Okay.
That's maybe I needed the actual name. This is for a TP link router during UART.
During boot is something I
UART boot.
Yeah, okay.
Let's give it a try again. Can give you access to special command shell, the bootloader, or the U-boot console. This shall allow you to manipulate the boot process, load firmware, or access other diagnostic feature. Here's how to do it. Connect via UART. Use the USB to TTL adapter to connect to the computer. That's fine. Use the terminal, baud rate, and all that stuff, which is good. Then monitor the boot process. Power on the router while watching the terminal output. You'll see boot message. Interrupt the bootloader. So as soon as the bootloader starts before the OS load, type TPL quickly and repetitively. Timing is crucial. You may only have a small window, so 1 to 2 seconds to do this. When successful, you'll see a bootloader prompt, U-boot. So that's what we should see. So right now, what are we seeing? Hold on, I covered my stuff. Okay, we see this. So basically speaking, the way I see it here, we should see U-boot instead of being the hashtag, right? That's basically what should be stipulated there.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. That's like a maintenance shell.
It can be cool to attend or to take a look at. I never seen it. I have no idea.
It's less privileged than Linux is, right? As far as I know, there's nothing that you can do in just the U-boot console that you can't do from a root shell. Maybe I'm wrong. If somebody wants to correct me, I would love to hear it, but I've never seen that.
Oh, okay. So Malcolm got a call, got distracted. That's fine. Thank you very much for trying this. I'll try to find more info as to why it isn't working, but I didn't get root immediately. So the way it seems that I have to do it, but it's going to have to be a specific time, which I'm not sure exactly when is the specific time. It says before, according to ChatGPT. Again, if we find more information about somebody that did it, that'd be even better for sure. But it says, as soon as the bootloader starts, before the OS load, type TPL quickly and repetitively. Timing is crucial. You may only have a small window. So I should probably just keep doing it a couple times.
So Malcolm, if you have a little experience with this, you can just put it in the chat, but are we expecting a U-boot console or a root shell? Flash custom firmware via TFTP. Yeah. Okay. So we were able to move over arbitrary binaries using TFTP, but not a whole firmware. So that'd be really cool to explore. It's also possible that we just have a lot of extra access on this router because it's insecure out of the box. Maybe it's other routers that this would be really useful for.
I think I'm already past the inject point. I need to try a couple times. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I thought. It'd be cool to be able to, according to ChatGPT, again, it says you can change a couple of things in there, like environment variable. I can probably put the BusyBox, the one that we have, maybe by default over there. So it boots with this constantly. That could also be interesting. Take a look at that.
That'd be super handy. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, and so Malcolm replied, yeah, we're expecting a U-boot console. So that's cool. That's very cool.
So ChatGPT is not lying. That's good. All right, let's try again.
So that was something that I was able to get out of the emulator earlier today, was just getting into the U-boot console, which was kind of cool. Wasn't able to boot all the way into Linux, but I was able to get to that.
All right, let's try one more. That'd be cool if we can do it.
Yeah, it would be. And I'd be interested to see if we could do something as simple as like changing what country the router thinks it's in.
It's like if you have to do it like super fast, because I'm already in there on this. It's not considered. Yeah, not found. All right, let's try again. I have a problem that I could not solve. A problem with Ubuntu. When I press sudo su and type a password, it returns me the message, failed to execute password, me, no such file or directory. That's interesting. If you just type in sudo su, technically speaking, it should go directly as root after you enter your password. So maybe it's the way that it has been designed. Maybe there's something else in the background that we don't know.
And this is in Ubuntu? That's really strange.
The only way I can root is sudo-s. So yeah, there's probably a setting somewhere, like a way that's been configured, that whenever you go as sudo, there's probably something in there that's being loaded or supposed to be loaded, which is not there. That could be the, I mean, that's the only thing I can see probably right now. So it might be to find out how this this Ubuntu has been configured for going out.
I'd also be interested to hear what your sudo version is, if we're looking at the same thing, or if you're on a different version than we're used to. That might explain something. I've never heard of that behavior though. It's different.
Yeah.
More keyboard dancing.
Keyboard smashing.
Yeah. We need some music for you.
There you go.
I think some really like mind-shredding dubstep would be perfect for this, where we just
yeah. Oh, I keep forgetting. We need to I need to have the music on eventually. I downloaded a bunch of songs that are not copyrighted, and we should probably have them eventually on our stream. Yeah. That's something I like to be able to have, and probably not too loud, just a little background. All right, let's try one more.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it's already in there, so I kind of assume that. Let's take a look at the top. Boot kernel, creating 5 MTD partition. Okay, Linux started.
So Jake, I meant your sudo version, by the way, not your Linux version. Sorry, Jeff, I cut you off there. What were you saying?
It seems that you have to do it super early.
Ugh. I wonder if there's a way that you could configure Picocom to spit out a message as it starts up, because other serial terminals can do that kind of thing, where you script a response right as you open the communication.
Yeah. Let's take a look if we can actually do that.
Patch the TPL flaw. Yeah, no, it sounds more like a backdoor than a flaw. I don't know. Maybe they patched it, but if what you're saying is true, I'm pretty sure it was intentional.
Yeah, probably. It's like I don't know how old you are, but like Contra. You remember Contra with the up down?
Yeah, totally.
Start select whatever. Similar to that. All right, so is there anything? No escape characters, no. I don't know if you see something in there that could be.
I'm going to check Minicom. You keep checking on.
Oh yeah, we can check Minicom as well. Minicom. Help. Device. Force 8-bit modes, doesn't matter. Override term environment variables. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep, run script at startup for Minicom.
So you could create a script that's going to just like spam this one, a loop.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and it wouldn't even need to be a script. It would just be echo and then, you know, TPL new line, TPL new line, TPL new line, just like 100,000 times.
Okay, so let's do that with ChatGPT. All right.
Okay.
You don't seem convinced. If you have a better one, you can write on the spot. Just like feel free to write it, put it in the chat on Discord, and I'll pick it up.
Okay.
You have a better way to do that. All right, so I got ChatGPT over here. Here I'm gonna do a new. Let's do a new one. Clear chat. Okay, so write a bash. I guess we can do a bash script that will send the following characters, or the following, characters, TPL, then press enter, I guess. I don't know how to stipulate it. I'm not a coder 100%. So then press enter. This has to be done as fast as possible. All right. Press enter. Let's see. So why is it doing that? Type TPL. Simulate pressing key. I guess. Am I able to install this? Maybe it's already installed. I don't know. Let's paste the clipboard. Yes. Okay, now let's do a copy of this. Let's put that there. We're gonna do, let's go into the right spot. So TP link.
What's x.tool?
Not sure. I'm gonna figure it out in a second. It says it's using this to be able to do that with the bash.
Oh no, just use a for loop.
I know. I can.
Oh, here. I got you in Discord. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me know when you switch it there, and then I'll.
Yep, it's in Discord.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So let me just switch over for a second. So not everyone sees my Discord. I'll just this like that. And,
yeah, it's just a one-liner.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think you would put that in like write that into a bash script. So start off a file with hash bang bin bash, and then and just put that one liner, or split it into 3 lines if you want, whatever.
Okay.
But then we feed it into Minicom using the -S argument.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So
there you go.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to give it the shebang though?
Yes. Let's give it the shebang. I don't. Yeah. Let's go full Ricky Martin there. All right.
So hash bang.
Yeah. I always forget how they do it.
And then
there you go.
There you go. That's it.
I knew it was.
And for anyone that's wondering, that just that tells the computer what code interpreter to use. Yeah. So sometimes you'll see like hash bang user bin and Python or something. So it'll say like that here's a file, all the rest of this is Python, and you should interpret it with Python. This just says use bash. So
we set cool script, right? Oh, there it is.
-S, yeah.
That's right there. So capital S.
I think that's all you need to specify. You need to put the device as well. Yeah. So capital D and then T2I USB 0.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, everything is there. Capital S, and let's do the TPL.sh. So that should be.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. I mean, that's going to be nuts if that works. All right. So I'm going to press enter now. So press. I didn't hear what you said. You're broken right now.
That it's possible we should have put like a wait command in there.
Let's give it a try and see how it goes. All right. All right.
Sure.
Again. This seems to be working.
Cool. Now, the hard part about Minicom is getting out of Minicom.
Well, I guess I can just get out of there like this.
Yeah, but then that'll keep your serial port open without closing it. So that's not a good
true.
thing.
True.
Yeah. It's you need to use Control A as like a meta character for everything. So I think it's Control A, Shift Z to bring up the menu.
Control A.
Actually, yeah, it says it right at the bottom there. So it's Control A, Shift Z.
I'm not even able to write in it.
All right, that sucks.
We probably killed it.
We broke it.
Yeah. Oh, see, look.
Hey, yeah, cool.
I think it's thinking super hard.
It's thinking TPL, TPL, TPL.
Yeah. It's probably what's happening. We just don't see it. It's quite. Oh my god.
Poor thing.
Oh no.
You got to just take pity on it at this point. It's trying its best.
Come on, don't be sentimental with it. It's a TP link after all. They're making more money than you and I at the same time.
I personally like TP Link. Some of my best tools run on TP Link gear. I know it's cheap. I know it's insecure, but that's sometimes the best thing that we want from it. Because if I didn't have TP Link gear for some of my tools, I would have to buy some really expensive Cisco shit.
Yeah, that's very true, right? So, I mean, if it wasn't available at this point, there's a lot of people that wouldn't buy them. The question is now is the security being tested on those stuff properly to make sure that they're good to go? So far, we've seen that, I mean, we are able to go to drop bear, but there is something stopping us, and we're not sure exactly how to be able to go around it. So password 1234 that we found earlier is having an issue, right? What do you mean? What do you mean we are close? Just trying to take a look here. Is there anything I'm missing right now?
Not sure. There is a bit of a delay between the chat and the stream, so
yeah. But it's moving forward. That's for sure. It's still moving forward, but it's having issues. And you said the for loop is 1,000 times, right?
10,000 times.
Oh wow.
But hey, no. Okay, so we know every character is 1 byte, right?
Yep.
And if it's going at 100,000 bits per second or 115,000 bits per second, divide that by 8, we've got like quick math, like I don't know, like 28,000 bytes per second, right?
Yeah.
So that whole message that you just spat should only take like 2 seconds to say. That should have only filled up the first 2 seconds of booting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see here TP-Link is great for flashing open WRT. Well, I'm assuming with the easiness or how easy it is to be able to spot the actual information, the chip and all that stuff, probably security-wise, they leave it open enough to be able to change it the way we want it. So I would see that's a good reason why.
Yeah. And it's nice when you can put on things like OpenWRT. We might at some point put on like a pfSense router on something like this. Or hey, JF, did you see that one with Matt Brown where he used MITM proxy to man in the middle anything that was using his device? It's a really, really handy tool.
Yeah, that's something that could be cool to give it a try.
if we were going to plant, I don't want to say an exploit, but a little surveillance tool on this router, that would be the first thing that I would go to is MITM proxy.
Yeah, that could be very interesting. And what was the reason again that he used that? I'm trying to remember.
Well, you can do all kinds of things once you have a man in the middle on a router, right? You can do a HTTPS downgrade. You can control people's browsers using like Beef. There is so much that you can do once you're on the router and executing code.
Yeah, that could be a cool one to to actually do at one point. For now, we're still stuck on this one. Eventually, it'd be cool to maybe jump onto this guy here for fun. I'm probably going to buy a couple of breadboard eventually so we can actually do it properly. But this guy's good. Okay, no, it's not good.
Are we back?
It's not working anymore. Okay, so let me kill this for a second. I might have to kill it completely to make it work. Because right now I removed this and nothing is working. So, all right. Let's see.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I'm plugging it back, and now it seems to be working.
And this is still over Minicom, hey?
Yeah, still Minicom. However, the script is probably not going to start anymore.
Good.
Well, with that, that's the first time I see this.
Send 2030 error.
No such file or directory. Then we crash it.
Huh?
That's interesting.
All right.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's Minicom the issue though.
Minicom is super annoying.
To be honest,
it does freeze.
Yeah, this one here.
Picocom is a lot more forgiving.
This one seems to be working, but now that could be the reason why we're having issues because this one here is also turned on. It still works.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not too sure how to make it stop.
With Picocom, I think you just hit Control C.
That's what
no, this one's also Control A. So hit Control A and then lowercase z. That's how you get out of the Picocom. That's how you bring up the menu.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and nothing is showing up.
Yeah, but you're not even at a prompt, right? Yeah. Yeah, or maybe Malcolm's right. You can just hit exit and close the shell. That should close the connection.
Oh, it does not register all the keys.
Once we have a prompt, yeah. you might have like completely you might have given it a classical buffer overflow.
that's
which
really
that used to mean more where it's actually filling up a data buffer, right?
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the stupid stuff I've done and kill it. I have so many things here. It should be towards the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, we got you, Malcolm. That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Exit to close the process. For sure.
But it was bugged, unfortunately. So I guess I can probably just do a grep and find it because there's just too many. All right, let's do the same thing.
Oh, to kill it? You can use pkill.
And what pkill does?
Pkill will kill a process by name instead of kill, which kills it by PID.
Oh, okay. Pkill.
Yeah, so if you go pkill and then just minicom. Yeah, but now we've left the serial port in a still connected state. It never hung up on its communication, which can be I don't know. Look, worst case scenario, you just turn the router on and off.
Yeah, I mean, see, is it working?
Yeah, cool.
Let's without the script right now. Let's give it a try. Well, it seems to be working. Let's see if we're gonna get the same errors. We might be fine now.
Now I didn't see that 2030 thing yet.
Yep, I think we're good.
That might have been the script.
Oh,
there it is. There it is. Yep.
Come on, come back. Oh, why did it go there?
Oh yeah, you rolled it up. That's the stupidest feature. I don't know why they keep that in there.
What the hell? I was about to click on to go there, and then it brought me back. So yeah, it seems that we are having. Did I pass it?
Yeah, you did. It was lower. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Still having issues there. Send to no such file. Did we crash it for real? Yeah, we're gonna have to wait a little bit and then see how it goes. I mean, it seems to be working. Can I plug it in?
And do you want to see what 2030 means?
2030?
You should see what 2030 is in ASCII and see if it's control codes. I could check.
Yeah. If you don't mind checking, I'm just going to plug it in and then see if I can get an actual browser coming out of that. Take a look at that, and then do.
So that would, in hex, that means space 0, space 0, space 0. So I mean, I don't know, man.
It's still working.
Okay.
I don't know. We probably screwed something up.
Yeah, we broke it.
I'm not concerned about it at all.
That's what we came here to do, right? It's just break things. So
I mean, the best thing that happened so far is I'm still alive. Nothing burned. See? All right, so that's cool. I could just like put password in there and then see put information in there just for the sake of it, and then maybe trying to retrieve it. So I'm going to put admin 1 2 3 4. Admin 1 2 3 4.
Hey, so JF, one thing that cool. So you're into the router interface.
Yeah, I never set it up before, so that's the thing.
Yeah. But this is kind of a known for us. But
yeah.
One thing that would be kind of neat is remember how we transferred that other busy box, the one with a whole bunch of tools in it, right?
Yep.
If it also had strace in it, and I know the busy box that's already on the router doesn't have strace, but if that one does have strace, we could watch strace of the HTTP server and see where it's doing writes, where it's doing file writes. So we could grep through the strace output. And that way we could do something simply like resetting the Wi-Fi password to watch where the password is getting stored. Because ultimately it's going to have to do a file write to save where the password is, right? So we can know the exact location just by doing something really low level.
Yeah, that could be interesting, but I'm having an issue right now.
Yeah, Minicom. It's not short on issues. What's wrong?
All right, I guess we have less issues with PicoCom. Seems to be a little bit more stable.
Yeah, PicoCom is a lot easier to use. What you need is that exit and reset. So Shift X.
Shift X? Yep. Leave Minicom? Cool. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So that closes the connection properly.
Yeah.
Leaving the serial connection in a reconnectable state.
Yeah. So what was PicoCom things?
What's up?
I just want to get PicoCom back.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think it's the same arguments, isn't it?
Oh my God. So lame of a joke. If you guys caught it. Malcolm, Alec is dragon. He will find a solution. Hey, no, it's fun. It's fun. I appreciate it, Malcolm. To be honest, it's fun. If we're able to find it, that's even better. But for now, I guess we can figure it out. All right, so now it's good to go. Whoop! I should probably just unplug it for a second, and then plug it back. So we're good. Okay, so it says boot image. I saw boot image somewhere. Boot image. That might be another thing that could be interesting. Booting image okay. So that's the image probably. Yeah, that's booting him. But we're not getting any of that when we do the...
Notice the address there.
Yeah.
BC
exactly.
10,000.
Yeah.
I wonder if that means like byte code 10,000 or something. Like, it definitely sounds like a hex address, and it definitely lines up to what we just observed from binwalk. So
yeah,
yeah.
And you remember when we got everything started and we were starting to see like information directly from the analyzer, the chip analyzer?
Yeah,
that's basically like this part that we start seeing right away.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if we have that error there with this one. It might just be a minicom. Oh no, it's still there. UDP port 1900.
Oh, hey, it just showed us a PID that was giving off that error though. PID 78.
Yeah, 78. Oh, maybe we can check out.
Please check PS.
78. Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
good,
maybe 78 is still alive.
Am I able to do that? Okay. 78. That would be 78 admin costs.
Costs. Sure. What is that? I swear we've checked this before. Am I going crazy?
Cost is not a thing, but I'm not too sure exactly what that'd be. So, okay. Let's do launch a new instance. Let's go to cd-tp link, and then we have, I think we have our files here. Firmware analyzer bin. I think it was it under bin? Oh, server.
For cost?
Server. Yeah, no, that's not there.
What are you trying to do right now, Jeff?
I'm in my mind.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking about the what's it called again? The BusyBox. There you go. So I'm looking for this one. I just wanted to transfer this. So we had the sudo aftpd daemon, I believe. I think that's what it was. Yep. No. I got the command directly on their Discord. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to refresh myself. When you do so many things left and right, it's easy to forget. And when Forway is telling us it's good to take notes, that's exactly what it means.
ATFTPD -- daemon.
ATFTPD? Okay. Oh, there you go.
ATFTPD.
Yep, right there. I was missing one thing. So it started. And then now the next thing that we need to go is var and then temp. I don't think, oh, we have some stuff in there, I believe. Yes, but which is fine. Okay. So now the next one was to put the file on it. It's TFTP. And then it was the it was the destination file that we have, so remote, and I believe it's BusyBox.
Which perspective are you in right now?
Cell, and then.
Are you uploading or downloading?
I'm downloading, so it's a get.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do,
yeah.
And then
so
after
use
that,
the -r for that.
Which is the remote. Yeah, that's good.
Exactly. So TFTP -r and then the file name and then -g lowercase g. The IP.
That's what I got. And then after that, we need to put the actual IP of my machine, which is 192.168.0.100. Let's see if we can get it. There we go.
Great.
So now let's do LSLA. Now, okay.
And
now
just for our viewers, which interface is that IP on, JF?
What do you mean? It's Ethernet right now.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm using basically a normal Ethernet cable to be able to do that. And as you can see, it's plugged in at this point. If I remove the plug, I'm going to be able to go, I don't know if I can go on the internet, to be honest, because sometimes it just like doesn't work at that point. Is it going to work? So it might not work, or it may resolve eventually, but let's see. So if I need to go on the internet, I need to unplug.
Man, that is super weird.
Yeah. So either way, no big deal. It works. We're good to go. So now, because we were able to transfer the MIP cell or BusyBox, we are going to do a shown. That's right. I do not care. It's going to be all of that. BusyBox MIP cell. Shown not found.
Oh, okay. That's you mean chmod if you're giving it 777.
Yeah, yes, you're right. Sorry. chmod 777. And then we're root, so it doesn't matter. So busybox, mipsel, and then let's do -- help. Now we have a bunch of different things that we can do.
If you're like JF and you can't remember the numbers for which one is read, which one is write, and which one is execute, you can always just do chmod plus X to make something executable.
Yeah.
And then it'll figure out the bits for you. You don't need to remember.
Like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. And then the file afterwards, which in this case would have been busybox. Right?
Yeah.
That would have worked like this.
Yep.
Instead of getting something that normally you shouldn't get or you shouldn't do, especially if you're at work. Because right now I just given like everything to everyone. And for those that don't know exactly what it is like the first one here or the first 3 over there are basically for the owner of the file. This one is the group that can do read, write, and execute. And this one is like everyone. The world can execute right now. So,
and there's no reason that others should have write on busybox. That would be really bad.
Exactly. I do that a lot on Hack the Box, obviously, when I do those machines. And one of those reasons why it's because I'm just hacking through it. Into an actual pen testing session, like engagement, you should not do that.
Yep.
You should be careful in how you do your stuff because that can be hindering your security even more.
Yep. If you create a backdoor, lock it for only yourself to access.
Yeah.
It's very important.
And make sure that it's recorded into your documents and stuff like that, so you know that you need to come back if you're allowed to do that. By the way, sometimes you may not be allowed to do backdoors into your engagement. So either way, that's going to be part of you to make sure that you're doing properly in this case. In our case right now, we're just troubleshooting, and that's fun for now, and that's fine for this. Good. All right. So the other thing too that we want to probably do, it's the export path, and then is it equal? I think it's equal. We're going to put the var and then tmp in here, and then after that, is it the semicolon?
No, it's a full colon.
Okay, good.
That's the concatenate operator.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure I can remember. Again, so many things that you have to remember when you do it on the fly. And I think that should work like this, correct?
That's correct. So that what JF is doing right now is putting var temp onto the front of the path. So now that directory will be checked first before anything else when it's trying to look up an executable.
Yep. So technically speaking, the new busybox mipsel is something that should not be in there. But if I do busybox, or I need to tab it now. Else. Let's say I go to job there, for example, right? So now LSLA. I don't have busybox. If I do busybox mipsel, it should work. There we go. So now it's going to be in there. We can do an alias as well. I think that's what we've done last time, right?
Yeah. And you also have tab completion. You didn't even need to write that whole thing because you just added that to your path. So
correct.
Side benefit.
So the alias, again, that's another thing too that I would have to remember. Help is not found. Cannot help JF. That's impossible.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Alias. There's nothing. I think what is it again here? It's
so it's alias, and then whatever you want the alias to be. So don't alias DD.
Oh, that's right. That's DD. No,
BB, sure.
No, BB. It's BB. I wanted to do. I said
BB equals busybox
busybox.
mipsel. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I? No, I cannot tab to complete.
All this is doing is establishing a shorthand, so he doesn't have to write busybox mipsel every time. He can just say BB.
At the end, DD, I don't think it would have been an issue because
you don't
really care about this one. It's going to reload. It's going to be fine. But if you do it on your Kali machine, 4-ways reaction was totally did it just for this.
Well, and even then, I'm overreacting because it's only for that one terminal session. As soon as you close that terminal and start a new one, you're good to go.
Correct. Exactly. So, which is fine. All right, so now we have a bunch of stuff, and you said there's something you were interested in.
Yeah, strace is what I was interested in. So that's to trace syscalls.
Yeah, but do we have strace? I don't see strace.
The other one would be ltrace.
TY SU. Why SU is there?
Why not?
I'm just curious. SU.
BBSU. Yeah, there you go.
Root. Okay, so BBFU instead. Okay. All right. So user root is not found, but if we wanted, we could. Can we be drop bear for fun? User drop bear.
Yeah, cool.
We are drop bear. Is that gives me?
You need -u, don't you?
I said I'd put -u in there.
Oh yeah. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
And those things. BB. Who am I? I'm still admin. This one environments. You know what? Let's do -l.
It looks like it didn't recognize the -u. Hey.
Yeah.
So why don't you just try it? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
It seems that there is limitation onto what we can actually do or not. So that's the biggest issue. And -l I just did, and it's not there. Run shell as login. Okay.
But why not just su drop bear, su drop bear, and that's it. No command. Yeah. Cool. And now ID. See, look, your prompt changed.
Yeah, that's right.
You have $1 now. You're on drop bear.
Yep.
Oh God, how do you get back now?
You restart the router, and you just go again through the whole process I just did.
Yeah.
User, so drop bear. Yeah, it seems that it's working.
And that's cool. That's cool.
We're back. We're back. Exit is making it work.
Good. All right.
So
actually, shoot, I should have known that. Yeah, it's the parent process.
Yeah,
just drop into the previous context. Yep.
I just don't know what we could get out of that. I don't think we can get much. And again, to me, what I'm curious about is why we're not able to do SSH directly there. So if I do SSH from this machine, okay, good to go. I got pretty much everything set up to be able to get there. As most people are going to be able to see, we're going to go as admin because admin is basically part of that. If we do, let's say, well, no, cat is already there, so it doesn't matter. We do etc and then PASSSWD. We're going to see admin is there. So that's the reason why we're doing that. We could use also drop bear, but right now we're doing this. And we already cracked the other one. Identity file, drop bear, I say not accessible. Oh, okay, that's right. We use the, okay. We
had to drop a key.
Yeah, I need to remove it.
Box.
That's the one we imported last time.
Huh?
You remember we created a drop bear key and then we imported it onto the router?
Yeah, but we did. Yeah, so we haven't transferred it onto the router yet.
On this one, no. This time around. So that's why I needed to remove it. Now it's interesting. It's not giving me anything.
Weird.
I'll do a map on 192.168.0.1. Should be able to get a port 22. So this map is going to query the top 1,000 ports, and it's not going to do much. So I'm just looking for ports to be open and see what's available there directly from the interface. I'm not going further than this for now.
Yeah, this is one of those things that I was hoping to accomplish by emulating the firmware on my laptop today. Sadly, I didn't get as far as this, but yeah, I really wanted to see how I could transfer a drop bear key and log in that way instead of over the serial port. Because if we were able to do that, we can do all those little nice to have things that we've been talking about, like scripting the transfer of BusyBox and setting up aliases and stuff like that. When you're using SSH and drop bear is included in SSH, you can run a script as soon as you log in. It's like just one extra argument. So as soon as we have drop bear, it opens us up to some really nice things.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. I think there's more work to do.
Yeah,
it's hard to be able to get everything on the fly, especially we're doing it live as we're trying to understand. And for those that are here that are not part of a conversation for a while, I don't know why it changed to a different screen. Oh, there you go. Sorry, you didn't see, but my screen just like juggled around and I couldn't see where you were at. Either way, so we're learning. We're learning on the spot. We're not professionals into hardware hacking, and it's great that you guys are able to join us at the same time as we're moving forward with this. So I put the PN in there. It was to disable the ping. Sometimes some servers don't like it, and it's possible right now because I kind of logged in onto the router. Now maybe some stuff has been activated. It's quite possible that this is the case, because normally we should be able to get here on port 22. Maybe I should just do a SSH for now and then see if that's going to work, because it's blocking us there.
Yeah, so this is something that we should at least get the error message when we just do SSH without all that stuff. But can you even ping it? Did you try just pinging it?
The nmap didn't work, right? So it didn't ping.
But if it's listening for ICMP, then yeah, see, it's not. So
let me see. Maybe it's just crashed with everything we've done.
Yeah,
I think I may have to transfer the files again, but we'll see. It's unfortunate.
So when I tried Dropbear locally, doing this exact same thing, so generating a key and then using that key to log into Dropbear, it worked just fine. So we have a bit of a local proof of concept, but we haven't been able to replicate that same luck on our router here.
Yeah, and as you can see here, the keys are being generated right now.
Yep, and it's this boot splash that we know we need a key in addition to just the password. Also, the error that we should be getting from SSH right now would also indicate that, right?
Yeah. Let me see if it's available now. No, SSH connection refused. Okay, now it's doing it. Okay.
Yay. So remember, you need to override it.
I need to...
that SSH keygen-f command that it has 3 lines up.
Oh, you're talking about where the key? Oh, yeah.
3 lines from the bottom.
Yes, I just.
Yeah, there you go.
You
gotta use that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, because we it's being changed, so every time it changes, basically the key is the issue. All right. Yeah. Yes. Enter, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and permission denied. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Admin. So yeah, so basically that's the issue. And even though we were able to crack the password, I think we got it onto our file over here. We were able to crack it, and then it was basically the admin 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit later, oh yeah, that's right. But a little bit later, we found something else. I believe was password. It was admin. That was a Dropbear.
But that's just a hash of admin. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I try again, it was, and then yeah, it doesn't seem to work. For some reason, it was working last time, huh? No.
no, it wasn't. What do you mean?
It was given that the PTY was not available, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. It couldn't allocate PTY or something like that. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm not too sure exactly where the issue resides now.
Hey, cool.
So interestingly enough, I did put admin. Admin does not work. 1, 2, 3, 4 does not work, but admin 1, 2, 3, 4 gives me this again. So this, for some reason, this time around, it went with both of them. So this is what we need to find. How can we get allocation now, and we get SSH through this? That's another thing too that we've been struggling around. And then the other thing too is strace. Are we able to get like just strace on the machine as a binary standalone?
That's a good question. If it doesn't come in BusyBox, I don't know how we're going to do it. We would need to cross-compile it. I've only ever used it on a x86, x64 machine, so...
Mipsel?
Yeah, Mipsel. Yeah.
Mipsel, let's... Oh, yeah, I need to disconnect my my thing over here to be able to get internet again.
You know, Jeff, this might be something we should just take offline and try it again next time. We've been running almost 3 hours now, so
yeah,
we could probably call it.
Yeah, I mean, we got lots of people over here. Hello to everyone. Happy to have you. Yeah. So that's probably something we're going to take offline. So yeah, I guess it's a good way to to just kind of recap what we've done so far.
Sounds good.
I think we were able to advance quite nicely into different perspective of understanding exactly how it works, right? We did take a look. I guess I just changed this, but we have pulse view over here. So for those that didn't see before we head out, I just want to do a small recap so folks can understand what we've achieved so far. So there's two different things that we've done. We had a UART over here where we basically took the UART interface and we put it through directly the analyzer. So I have it over here. You guys are probably not seeing well enough, but that's going to be in the little corner there. If I can probably just switch it. There we go. Is it going to? There we go. So that's exactly what we used to be able to connect there. And we also used the other cable that's attached directly to the board, right? So I'm not going to show them, but they are there. We were able to see a lot of really good information out of this. Well, I mean, like really good information. It's up to a point, right, where we are seeing the same thing as what we saw in the UART panel, which is still interesting. And we can see here the bytes or the bits or whatever going through. We also tried to take a look at the chip itself, the SPI. And I think this one, I need to do a little bit more digging on how to interact with it. We're still seeing information, but I'm not too sure exactly which one is which. We would have to do a little bit more investigation because obviously, again, we are not the experts in this, and I mean, like maybe Firmware could do it on his own, but he's handicapped by me right now, so, so he has to deal with me as the guy that has to figure this out on the fly, which is all right. It's understandable, right? This is something that everybody learns. Everybody has to go through, and if you're not going through this hurdle, it's going to be it's going to be a problem. So yeah,
the learning moment here was print out your data sheets, buddy. You gotta know your data sheets before you even make your connections.
I should have, or you print it out, or you have it on the internet readily available.
Yeah,
I would say at least you have something like this available. Normally, technically speaking, that's what I should have done before doing it. But knowing me, sometimes I get I just want to get it done. Especially
you're just so eager. Yeah, it's a good thing.
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but you know what? At the end of the day, what's going on with this is it's $20. So to me, I do not mind it too much. If it was like $1,000 or something like that, I'd be doing something different. If it'd be a big project. For some other people, you can see here I have the board with everything hooked onto it. So, which is good. So this is the device we use to be able to get the UART that's there. And that's, I think there we go. We see it much better this way now. Sorry, the camera is upside down, but that's the analyzer that we use with what's called Pulse View.
Pulse View.
Yeah, Pulse View. That's what we use as a software there. And we use it to be able to take a look at, if I take this off, the chip that's right there. There we go.
Yeah, so we had one wire hooked up to each of those 8 legs on that chip there.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is next time I'm going to use these. I'm probably going to prepare it in advance, and we are going to plug these ones on each legs to be able to extract the information. The best way would have been to basically take it off and then use a different device to be able to do that. But at least, I mean, we're doing our best to be able to get the best out of it. So that's basically in a nutshell what we've done. Oh yeah, we extracted the firmware, right?
So that's a huge step.
We extracted the firmware using this here with a device that's called, a binary that's called Flash ROM. It's already available directly on Kali's, so that's quite good at this point. So you can see here that we have the device over here. We have the little teeth that we can probably see directly on there that are going to hook onto the chip. Then after that, I put it here, I lock it in place, and we're good to go. Another way that we could have done it, and that's probably, well, I mean, it doesn't mean that's probably the way I'm going to do that, but we'll see. But we can see here the little pins on the sides, right? I think that's something that didn't show up, right? We can see that we have a couple of pins that tells exactly what it is, and we could have used those pins to go there. So in this case, if I have that and I need to put it, let's say, onto the 5 volt, that's like the left pin where I'm putting my finger there, I could have just like taken this and then just put it here and that would work. If that's the case, that we need to do that. In our case, not really.
Yeah, this circuit is a little more forgiving, but there's other cases where we might only be able to communicate with that chip if it's already within a circuit. So this allows us to remove the chip, but also have it kind of built into a surrounding circuit still, if it needs that to initiate communication.
Exactly. So yeah, so that's the thing we've done. And then with this, we were able to extract the firmware. We saw a couple of things that seems to be interesting directly on, if I go on the other side over here, that was right here. That's basically all the files that we were able to extract with the device I just showed you. And those files in there, there's like the squash root. Probably we could run and do something specific, which I don't know exactly yet what we're going to be able to do. There's something, probably a couple of binaries or whatever, we could take a look at a little bit later through Ghidra. I think that's something you mentioned as well, Four-Way. That could be very interesting to initiate and take a look at. And we'll see. But I think for now, this is a good learning step that we've done. There's a bunch of stuff, brand new stuff that I never used before. And this is basically pretty much my first time. And trying to go right on top of my head what I've learned so far as I'm navigating the internet. So good. I think this is exciting. This is fun. And here's Four-Way. Good. So you guys have any questions? I see here, that's a little while ago. No, it's 2 minutes ago. So Jake here, on the contrary, it gives us experience and learning and not despairing until we find a solution. Yeah. How many times Four-Way you did a CTF and you were trying to figure out how to get it done? And it probably took you at least 40 hours, maybe 24 hours to be able to get the solution over the course of 2 days.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I was just about to say 40 hours. That's happened too. For sure. It happens all the time. And like, I think what I said before was like, a good hacker is somebody who has failed more than everyone else. So yeah, most of it is failure. And it's always, the more that you can learn from your failure, the better you're going to do. So I think we're doing an awesome job, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some stuff you guys are not seeing because obviously we're doing some research on in the back, a little bit, not too in depth. We're not trying it extensively to be able to show it to you. This is something that's going to come up as a different video eventually, where we are going to show you exactly the steps that we would have taken, knowing everything that we know at that point, which is not exactly our case right now. Again, it's going to come down to almost the same thing as what the TP TAPO is. Like this one here, I'm probably going to follow a couple of steps. That's going to be coming down directly from what's his name again? Matt Brown. Yeah. Okay, so there's sometimes you have to do that. There's sometimes it's going to be hard, but hopefully you guys wants to come along the journey with us. We're going to try again to stream this next Monday. I'd love to be able to see potentially, like right now we have 4 people on in the chat. There was 5, maybe the other person that's going to come back. But make sure you let us know exactly when would be the preferable time to be able to do the stream. So if you guys keep telling us when it's the best time, we're going to try to adjust. Right now, we're doing it at around 10 a.m. Eastern time here in Canada. And if we need to do it on the weekend or something like that, we're going to try to adjust ourselves. We may not promise anything at this point, but if we're able to do it and adjust ourselves there, I think it could be great to be able to have you along the way.
And if you're watching this after the fact and you want to chime in for what time would be good for you, just join the Discord. It's in the banner below, and tell us right in the what's our channel called?
It's in
the learning time. Yeah,
learning time.
Tell us in learning time what time would work for you, and we would love to hear it. We'll try to work it in.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard because we're not exactly new 100% into live streaming because we've done it for like a year, or at least for me, and we still need to learn even more throughout that space. So it's taking time, but we're going to get there for sure, and we're going to make sure we have the best schedule possible and then the best content we can as well. There's lots coming up in the pipeline, and if you want to know more, I will be talking about it a little bit more in details on Thursday after the meetup. So, which is going to happen on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you want to tune in, it's on meetup.com right now, or you just have to stay tuned directly on our Discord server, like Four-Way just said, and you're going to be able to know exactly when we're going to be ready to stream. So, yeah, 3 days to go. I was solving a problem in the area. I couldn't, but in Yard, I was able to solve it. It was easy. Just that my mind was not working very hard. Well, it's going to happen to everyone. I should have pushed that up. It's going to happen to everyone. You're not the only one, and I'm quite sure. I mean, like, unless you're probably like SnowScan or whatever, and then can root machines within 15 minutes. Like, it takes me a day or two to be able to figure that out. I mean, these guys are professionals.
At best.
Yeah. That's all they do. As far as I can tell you, right? I don't know. They probably do something else, but it's just to say. They're nonstop into doing it. So for us, it's more of a hobby, trying to move this forward. This is not exactly my job I do on a daily basis, but this is something that I'm very interested in. So that's why we're going to do that. And it's never going to stop. And the best people that are going to be able to thrive in that space is the people or the guys that have resilience. So yeah. Good. Is there any other questions? So I see we're 6 now listening in, but if there's any questions, shoot it now or join Discord and we can try to answer it later on.
And if you like CTFs, come on Thursday because we're going to be doing a box that even I haven't rooted yet. I might take a look beforehand, but this is one that for some reason, and I can't remember why, I got the user flag, but I didn't root the box. So it's going to be exciting. I'm stoked, at least, right?
Yeah. I don't know about me because I'm the one presenting it. I'm looking for folks to join as well. If at one point you'd like to be able to present something, just make sure you hit us up as well too. We can review what you want to present and how we can deliver this. And I'd be very, very happy to be able to have you on stream at one point. We want to make it your spot or this location. To be like a spot where you guys can contribute all together and we can build a community all together, right? Not just Four-Way and I, or even Steve or anybody like that. We want you guys to be part of the success and also be part of where we're heading, right? So thank you very much. I don't see any other questions. So on this, I think that's going to be the end of the stream, Four-Way.
Yep, sounds good. Bye, everyone.
I feel sad. It's so disappointing.
Don't be sad.
I want more.
Be happy that it happened.
All right, sounds good. Well, it was nice to have you guys around, and then I wish the best to everyone. So cheers on this. Have a good one.
Bye, guys. See you.